Oh, there. We have sound now, right? Oh, there. We have sound now, right? Do we have sound yet? We have sound yet? There we go. It's because I'm an idiot who doesn't know how to click the unmute button. Because I'm an idiot who doesn't know how to click the unmute button. Total idiot. So how is everyone tonight? It's been a long time since we've done one of these. I'm glad you all turned out for this. Thank you for coming. I hope you're having a happy holiday season. It's Christmas. It's Christmas or Hanukkah or whatever you celebrate. Thank you for hanging out with me tonight. So what? We got echo and delay? What the hell? Echo and delay? Figure that out. Oh, hang on. That's why. Is that better? Did we fix it? Did I fix it? Did we fix it? Is the echo gone? The echo gone? I actually didn't have a speaker. I think I turned on the actually didn't have a speaker. I think I turned on the what? Not sure why. Everything's off except the mic. Not sure why. Let's see what else it could be. Hang on. Let's mute that guy. All right. How about now? Boy, you think I've never done this before. Echo charm. Yes. Did we get it? All right. Somebody let me know if it's better. Perfect. So, okay. So here's what I did because I'm an idiot. First off, thank you, P-Biz, for the super chat. Thanks for the fantastic movie reviews and endless corny jokes. Well, I do have an endless supply of corny jokes, if I do say so myself. So yeah, sorry, technical difficulty there. I total botched that launch, like a bad Zoom meeting. When I clicked the go live, I hit the mute on the computer window instead of the microphone window. So that's why there was no sound. And then for some reason I had another window open of the stream that was actually playing audio, even though it shouldn't be, but I don't know why that is. But, so how is everyone tonight? I'm sorry we had that rough start. Hopefully this is not a sign of things to come. Hopefully this will be much smoother now. Yeah. So I'm just trying to find an easy way to see my chat. So hang on one second. This is why I never test this stuff because I do it so rarely and I just leave it alone and it should work. But tonight it was not my best start. Yeah. So my apologies. No, I think the tech issues are good, Cinecrypt. I think I figured them out. Hopefully, till I touch something else and break it. So let's see what we got in the chat. Yo nerds, Doug Russell. Hello, my fellow nerd. Robotics, no apologies necessary. Stuff happens. That is the motto of my life. Stuff happens. Yes, it does. Never. Well, not always. Often not good. So yeah. So how is everyone? How are you doing? Let's just get this rolling. My Titan, I'm great, man. I am ready for Christmas, ready for big 2023, ready for more sick flicks. I got a lot of plan, a lot in store for 2023. I cannot even talk tonight. We've been doing this for 10 minutes and I'm already like mush mouth. So just bear with me and we'll get it sorted out somehow or not. Yeah. Joe Mom, I'm glad you think this is awesome. This is not my best live stream so far, but we're going to recover and rebound. We're going to get back on track here. So yeah, so I guess we can start off with a little programming note. Best-selling author, writing coach Lisa Daly. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate that. Yeah, so let's start off with the show note first. So as you know, YouTube likes to give me a lot of crap, and between YouTube and copyright holders, we're just constantly fighting battles. So, like Hollywood Chainsaw Escorts, we were not allowed to say the H word. That was the last thing. And then this week, we were working on the video for next Wednesday, which is a Christmas movie because everybody's like, ooh, I need a Christmas movie. You need to do a Christmas movie. And I never do. And so this year I'm like, all right, we're going to do a Christmas movie for Christmas next week. And so I'm like, Vinegar Syndrome just put out Don't Open Till Christmas, which is a good Christmas slasher type movie. And let's just do it. Right. So we do it up and, generally Vinegar Syndrome stuff is like super safe because like they're they're not out there like buying Hollywood movies type thing for the rights to Hollywood movies. So if Vinegar Syndrome or Severin puts it out, you can basically rest assured that this is a movie that's been in like rights limbo for like 100 years or something like that. So, yeah, so I'm like, Don't Open Till Christmas will be great. It's got Edmund Purdom in it. It's like, it's a Christmas movie. It's going to be a blast, right? So we make it, and I do the script, and we film it, and I'm like, oh, this is a really funny script. This has got some like really good, some good shit in it. And I send it off to Jay, and Jay's like, oh my God, this is funny. This is good shit. This is like one of your classics, you know? And Jay is always like, you know, if I make a dud, Jay will tell me like, that one was like, nah, not your usual. So he's always on. So if he says something's good, I usually feel pretty confident about it. Anyway, so we put it up, and boom. Greater Fool Media, my old nemesis, claims it. And we put everything up on Jay's channel to start with as a test. So that way I don't, you know, like if they're going to block something or hit you with a strike right out of the gate, I don't get the strike. We just put it on his channel, which is very nice of him because, you know, he has a nice channel. Bloodbath and Beyond is a good channel, even if he doesn't post on it much anymore. But so they claim it. And so he sends it to me anyway. And then I put it up, and just to tell you how goofy this whole system is, which you already know if you've been to a live stream before, because I rant about it endlessly. So he sends it to me. I put it up. When he put it up, they just claimed the video. They just wanted the ad money from the video. When I put it up, they blocked it like flat, straight out of the gate. No warning. No, we just want the money and you can put the video up. No, anything. It's just blocked, globally blocked. So I'm like, oh shit. Like, because we've been through this with Greater Fool before. We went through it on Conquest, and then we went through it on, Blood Rage. And it literally got to the point where I would appeal. They would deny it. I would dispute it. They would deny it. And I'd have to then counterclaim them and go like, all right, well, you got 10 days, either take me to court or leave it alone. And they always leave it alone. So this time, YouTube has changed their rules a little bit, and that you can like skip the first 30-day step now. So we got straight to the appeal, and I'm like, but even if we go straight to the counterclaim and appeal, like they're gonna sit on it for 7 days, and then it's 10 days before it comes, 10 business days before they have to decide, and then they always throw a week in there where you just can't do anything with it. But instead, they actually released the video, so we will be getting Don't Open Till Christmas on Wednesday. It's a Christmas miracle. It's a happy ending. I don't know why they did it. I don't know if they did it because they saw my name and went, oh, this guy's not going to drop this, so we're not going to sue him. So we're just going to go ahead and cut to the chase and drop it, which is what I suggested to them on Blood Rage. I'm like, we've just done this. I'm not going to back down. You're not going to sue me. So let's just skip all this and let me release my video. And this time they did. So I thought the H word was Hollywood. Me too. But so we will be getting Don't Open Till Christmas on Wednesday, which is exciting because I was like, except that then Joe Bob did it last night, of course. So, which will not help my video at all. Which is what we went through when we did things. I did things, and like literally, like the Friday before it came out, Joe Bob did it on his show, and then my video, like nobody watched it because they're like, oh, I just saw this on Joe Bob. Why don't I want to watch this idiot talk about it? So yeah, but we will get Don't Open Till Christmas, which is pretty exciting, right? So, all right, I missed a couple super chats while I was off on my 18-minute tangent about Don't Open Till Christmas. So let me get some of those. Joe Mom 21. Thank you so much. Keep doing what you're doing. I'm going to try. I'm hoping to do more of what I'm doing in 2023. That's one of my goals for next year, is to kind of up the production schedule. We are at the point with the channel where I'm like, going sort of inching into full-time territory here on the platform. And I would just like to make more stuff with all my new free time. So yeah, you will continue to get like a Sick Flicks every Wednesday, just like clockwork, as long as I can write them and not like, run out of dad jokes. You will get those. And then, hopefully we will start to sprinkle in some of these other show ideas I've kind of wanted to do. So I know we're working on a podcast, me and a friend. So that's something you may see next year. You may see a solo little podcast just for me. And you also see some shows like, I swear to Christ, we're going to finally do deep cuts. It's coming. I've got like multiple of them scripted. So now it's just time for me to buckle down and actually film them and give them to Jay so he can make them and we can release them and you can watch them. So I hope you guys will be excited about that. We'll try to get more of that stuff next year. Hopefully, more live streams. Like I would like to get to once a month live streams. I don't know if that's doable. As you can see, I can't even work the equipment. So who would want to tune in like once a month to see me fumble around for 5 minutes with no audio or echo and reverb? So, yeah, but if you like that kind of thing, this is the show for you. So, what else do we got here? Maceo Smallwood, you keep me sane. Well, thank you so much for the super chat. And, I am glad I can keep you sane. 2022. So this is the funny thing. Like I try to be like very humble about the show and like, as it's gotten bigger and everything like that, I've managed to mostly keep my giant ego in check. I know the last couple years have been hard for everybody. And so like one of the things for me with the show has been like, I want to put out a video every Wednesday so you can like come in and hang out for 20 minutes and laugh at a bunch of terrible jokes and like forget about, all the crazy shit going on in the world, like wars and politics and all that stuff. So if it helps you get through a tough time or a bad day, or it just makes you, forget about all the terrible things happening in the world. There are plenty of good things too, but there are a lot of terrible things happening. It's great. I'm happy to do it. So I'm happy so many people seem to enjoy the show. When I started, you never knew how that was going to go, like, will people like it? Will people think it's stupid? A lot of people think it's stupid, but it's stupid by design, right? So, all right. So what else have I missed here? Bradley Webb. Found your show about a year ago. Thank you. I'm glad you found me. Occasionally the algorithm works. Not often, but occasionally. Occasionally it shows me something I would actually like to watch on YouTube other than, the usual stuff I pick. And sometimes it actually finds an audience for my show, which I'm always very grateful for because Lord knows, otherwise there's a lot of stuff on YouTube you could be watching. And if they don't put me in front of you, you may not ever find me. Like I just found a show, like a horror show this week, Creature Features. Like it's a guy and a girl and their butler. And they, they show whole movies like an old Creature Feature show, which is sort of like my show. But they show the whole movies and like, they have like 90,000 subs and I had never seen them before. Like I'd never heard of them. And like, suddenly they turned up in my feed and I'm like, oh, why were you not showing me this sooner? This is the kind of stuff I watch. So, occasionally these things work. Occasionally. What do we got here? I get copyright claimed a lot by Cater Media. I have not dealt with them. We, in the movie space, we tend to deal with the, the usual suspects, the Lionsgates, the Sonys, and for some reason, Greater Fool Media has like blipped on to the radar in this year, and they have not been great to deal with. Although I will give them props, they let this one go, so I'm gonna be nice. I'm not gonna say anything mean about them tonight. So. Someone asked about Burning Moon. Burning Moon never happened, William, because YouTube just will not let me do Burning Moon at this point. Like, that was like early on in the show, like I had this whole big thing. We're going to do like all these movies, we're going to do all these Marion Dora movies and all these Japanese splatter flicks and all this stuff. And then YouTube, like 2021 started to just lose their mind about everything. And it's like, there's no way now I can do August Underground it would be like a slideshow. Like I could show you like, here's a picture of something with nothing bad on screen. So, yeah. So in that regard, like some of those movies, they are just not going to let me do them. There may be like, I can talk about them in other things like a podcast or something like that. But even that is tricky, as you can see, because I cannot say Hollywood Chainsaw Escorts without getting demonetized. So I suspect the same will be true in a podcast or another setting. Although in my defense, I have said that word in other videos without problem. So I'm not sure why this video was a problem. but it was. So Blood Rage was rad. I like that, but you know what's funny? Blood Rage was good, and it's one people ask me to do like a million times, like every year at Thanksgiving. Oh, you got to do Blood Rage. You got to do Blood Rage, and I did it, and that video did poorly. So that video has never gotten any traction. It struggled to get to 20,000 views. Meanwhile, as you may have noticed, the shower videos do very well. So, yeah, I don't know why that one didn't do well, but then it sat in limbo forever, which made it even worse because I felt like, oh my God, why have I done all this work to rescue this video and then nobody watches it? So, but it's there. If you ever want to watch it, it's there. So, all right, I'm missing tons of chats here because I come to these things and I can't shut up. I should just sit here and be quiet and read chat. That's what I should do. David, let's get physical media. Thank you, man. Hey, homie, still watching, but it's been a while since I threw you some love. Hope the holidays are excellent. Well, I hope the holidays are excellent for you guys too. And thank you for coming by, man. I'm always glad if you swing by and watch some videos or you come in and say, hey, it's all good, man. I'm always here. I'm very consistent on YouTube. All right, disinterested hand job. I love them. One of my favorite usernames, one of my absolute favorites. So yes, yeah, YouTube, man. This site is like, I have such a love-hate relationship with this site. Like, I love that it's given me this platform to talk about this stuff that I would spend 20 years writing about, and I have like a bigger platform now here than, like all these big sites I wrote for. Like, just YouTube's reach is just so incredible. But they also make me absolutely insane with the just arbitrary rules and things that are just not explained, and the inconsistencies in like, oh, you can say this week, but you can't say it next week. Or my favorite now is that I have videos that have been fine for 3 years, that have been like monetized and been checked and appealed and all this stuff. And then 3 years later, they're suddenly like, oh no, this isn't okay anymore. We can't have this. So like, how am I supposed to make a video like with my crystal ball to know like, well, if I say this now, it's okay, but in 3 years from now, it's not going to be cool anymore. So this is my struggle, but you guys don't have to worry about that. That's what I do. You guys just get to watch the videos. So I'm happy you don't have to deal with that. All right. Did I miss any? Oh yeah, I missed more down here. I'm sorry. Is that Jane or Yanni or? Yeah, I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but thank you. Your show. Hell yeah. Give yourself a screenwriter's credit. Hello from Finland and Merry Christmas. Well, Merry Christmas to you and hello from Florida. I'm so happy. Like all the dumb shit I say in my daily life has like somehow like turned up in this show and people like it. So this is like the best Christmas gift ever. It's just like the people go around saying hell yeah, or give yourself a screenwriter's credit, or screaming bastard at random people, or, doing Joe D'Amato telling you to go F yourself in Italian. Or it stinks. Like, I'm just so like tickled every time somebody does that stuff. So, all right, P Biz, thank you again. What movies? So we've talked about this a little bit. The first for me were Jaws and Halloween. Like I was at a very young age when those movies came out, but not so young that I didn't know that people were talking about them, and I was terrified of them. And I've talked at length about being terrified of Jaws and just the soundtrack, like running screaming from the room when the soundtrack came on. Yeah, those two are the ones, man. Those were the gateway drugs to becoming the horror geek, Jaws and Halloween. So, but thank you. Willard from 2003. Could I do a gore card on that? Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I have to, anytime somebody asks for something, it's always prefaced by, I have to look into it and see who put it out and how much of a headache it's going to be and whether YouTube is going to give me a bunch of shit over it. So I try to avoid as much of that stuff as I can, but it's not always easy. But yes, it's on the list. The original is on the list actually. So it's not a stretch to go like we might get to the remake as well. All right, Annabelle, thank you. Happy rockin' weekend to all. What's one movie you're looking forward to in 2023 and one you're these questions always make me laugh because I absolutely cannot keep up with new horror movies. Like, since I have started doing this show, I spend all my time watching old stuff for the show. So like 2022, I haven't seen Hellraiser. I didn't see the new Predator. I didn't see oh god, I didn't see Barbarian yet. It's like not the only thing I saw was Halloween Ends, which was in retrospect a bad decision. But yeah, we won't go into that. Maybe later if you want. But yeah, so I don't even know what's coming next year at this point. Like I was like, oh, I should look at what's coming out. But yeah, I am so behind on new stuff, man. Like I see people talk about things. I'm like, oh, that sounds cool. I should go check that out. And then like sick flicks. I've talked about this. Sick flicks is really hard to script. Not hard in the sense that it's like super difficult, although writing bad jokes is harder than it looks. But it just takes a lot of time because you think like, okay, you have to go through and you have to find a thread. Like I have a lot of jokes that are like tie into like someone looks like someone and then it builds up through the movie, like other tie-ins to who that character looks like and things like that. So like the average Sick Flicks episode can take like 10 to 20 hours to write. And a lot of them are closer to 20. And you're thinking that's like a 90-minute movie that I have to spend 20 hours with. And so by the time I get a script done on Sick Flicks, it's just like, I don't want to watch movies. Like I have sat with this movie for like 4 days, 5 hours a day. And I just don't want to look at movies until I have to start the next one. And so, yeah, it's sort of weird. Like I love films. I've been a film critic forever. And I used to see like everything that came out I would see. Like if it was horror, I'd see it, and for a long time I just saw everything that came out because it was part of the gig. Like you had to write about all kinds of different stuff, so I saw a lot of rom-coms and all that shit. But since I started doing the show almost 4 years ago, man, like it's a struggle to get to see the new stuff. So I have not looked yet. I do need to look at what's coming next year. I'm sure there's something I'm excited about. Despite your vast taste, what flick were you won't ever revisit? Well, Halloween 3. So don't get me in trouble. Let's not get the Halloween 3 thing started up tonight. Don't get me canceled again. All right, what else have we got here? Do I have another full-time? I did. Yeah, I have worked in marketing for a number of years. I was also a film critic I've been a professional film critic and video game critic since 1999. I've written for IGN and Cinema Blend, Cinematical, Fandango, Movie Phone, like a bazillion movie sites, all the big ones, basically, I've written for at one point or another. And I did work in marketing. I've worked in marketing for a number of years. So, but this year is kind of like 2023. We're going to, try to do some more YouTube stuff. I'm tired of working in marketing. Marketing is like being a used car salesman. All right. Did I miss something up here? Let's see what else I've missed. Oh yeah. I missed a bunch of stuff. Hell, I am so sorry. Here's something funny, like just like a funny aside. Like the reason I don't do more live streams is because they stress me out. I come in here and I'm always excited to do them. And I'm always excited to hang out with you guys and talk about all this nonsense. And then afterwards, I always feel bad because there are so many comments that I miss and that I don't see them until like, if I go back and look at the replay and watch the chat instead of listening to me blabber for an hour or 3 hours. And so I always feel bad afterwards. So I'm always like a little bit stressful. It's stressful for me when I do these because I'm like, I don't want to miss anybody's chats. And it's like, it's so fast and so many that I just can't keep up with them all. So if I miss you, it's not because I didn't like your comment. It's because I just didn't see it. Plus I'm going blind. It's hard to read these little comments over here on the sidebar. Now let me scroll down here and find some super chats. Matt, thank you. I have not seen Terrifier 2 yet. I was waiting for it to come out on Blu-ray. It's coming in like I think it comes out next week. So I already have it ordered. It'll be here the day it comes out. So, yeah, I will be seeing it. I am not sure if we're going to do it on Sick Flicks. Not because I don't want to, but because it's 2.5 hours. And, I have learned from doing the show for almost 4 years that like the longer a movie is, the longer the script gets. And like, I'm already like doing 80 to 90-minute movies, those clock in like 15 to 20-minute episodes. And so if I did a 2.5 hour movie, I'm afraid that would end up being like a 40-minute episode, which is not the worst thing in the world. But the problem with that is that instead of the 10 to 20 hours it takes me to script, it will take me more than double. And I don't know that anybody wants to watch 40 minutes of me making dad jokes, to be quite honest with you. I don't know. So we could break it up into 2 episodes, which I would prefer not to do. So I just have to watch it first and then kind of see how I feel about it. And then like, if I watch it and it's 2.5 hours and it feels like it flies by, or I have like a bazillion good jokes, then I would probably tackle it or give it a shot. But until then, I don't know. So, all right, Charles, you're asking if I did do La Casa 5 Beyond Darkness. I actually just did that one, like, I don't know, 2 months ago. So it's in the archives. It's there if you want it. Look at my Titan. Are you like trying to get me wound up? Jaws is an okay film. Come on, man. You're just trying to push my buttons. Just discovered the film Highway to Hell. Awesome. Well, thank you, Obsolete Elite. I don't know that one. Is that, I mean, the title sounds familiar, but I'm sure there's like 20 movies called that. So I'm not sure who's in that, but if you want to drop it in, I will take a look at it. All right. Am I caught up? No. I am. I think I am almost caught up on the super chats. All right. So then we can go back and get some of these others. Novelty Island, thank you. Love from the UK. Best British horror movie. Best British horror movie for me is The Devil Rides Out. I'm a big fan of that one. I love seeing Christopher Lee as a good guy. I like oh my god, what's the bad guy's, the actor's name? I can't remember, but his character name is Mokata. He's a great bad guy, and I love that goat of Mendes that turns up at the summoning ritual. Like, for a movie from that era, that thing looks pretty amazing. So that is my favorite. I don't know if it's the best. It's pretty up there though, I would say, like, for British horror. So all right, let me scroll back up here. Let's find some more. Yeah, who comes to YouTube for science? That's right, Frizzy. I don't know. Not me. Will there be a horror geek NFT? Hey, Jamie, how you doing? No. Never say never. No. Look, I barely know what an NFT is. I mean, I do, but I don't understand the allure of that type of thing. Like, I have had it explained to me how like Web 3.0 could be this like really interesting thing for creatives and things like that. But I think we can all agree at this particular moment, it's mostly just like a big con. So, I don't know if we ever have an NFT, it would be something really cool and legit. And I would promise you, I'm not scamming you on it. So if it felt like scammy, I'm not doing it. So if we had something that was like cool and like people could get and wanted, that would be one thing. But yeah, I can't even get merch going. How am I going to get NFTs going, man? Oh yeah. So what else we got here? I like Mike more than Daniel. This is the nicest comment. I like Mike more than RLM at this point. I am incredibly flattered by that because those guys are fantastic. So, I hope to someday be even half as big as they are. So, yeah, but thank you. I appreciate that. That's very kind. Arturo was watching Krampus. Yeah, I thought about doing a Krampus movie, but Don't Open Till Christmas was just too good to pass up, man. Creature Features is great, Robotrix. Like, so this is one of those things. Like, I'm like, these people have been doing this for ages. Why are they just recommending this to me now? Like, I am very easy to recommend things to on YouTube because I have like 6 interests video wise when I come to this platform. I watch like powerlifting strongman stuff. I watch horror stuff. I watch some rap music stuff, and that's about it, so like, you go like, oh, this guy likes horror stuff, we should put this show in front of him, but they never did until just now. And I'm sort of low key bummed because I really like what they're doing. In fact, in a lot of ways, they're kind of like the sort of next tier of what I was trying to do when I started. Like my show is very much inspired by Mystery Science Theater, obviously, Joe Bob, who I grew up on, and like the classic horror hosts like Dr. Paul Bearer and Chili Billy and all those guys. And that's basically what I wanted the show to be, was like a YouTube horror host show where a guy comes in and shows you some goofy movies you probably haven't heard of or seen and makes terrible jokes through them. And they have like costumes and sets, and I'm just like, and they have guests, and I'm like, oh my god, these guys are awesome. Why have I not seen them before now? So yeah. Rob K, have you seen the YouTube show called Hack the Movies? I have. I think I've only seen it once though, and I think I liked it, but I don't remember. I'll have to go look again. So I tried to watch. I like your. Well, thank you, Nick. I appreciate that. Like, this is the thing about YouTube. It's like, this is what I tell people. Like, people will come in all the time and tell me, like, oh, I hate your shit. You suck. And so is better. If you like someone better, that's great. Like, there's no like exclusivity thing here. Like, oh my God, I can only watch the Horror Geek. I can't watch Dead Meat, or like, I'm like, watch all this stuff. We all make cool stuff. And we, like, you may like one of us more than others, or, but it's all good. Like, I'm glad there's a lot of stuff for people to watch, but I'm glad people like mine. Yes, Mr. Livingston. Yeah, he is great. Like they just have like it's just like a silly little vibe. Like I'm just flabbergasted that this channel in my space that has, almost 90,000 subs, and I've never seen them. Like what is the algorithm doing? Its whole job is to fucking find shit for people to watch. And like, this is exactly the kind of stuff I would watch. Like, I've seen all these movies. I watch them talk about them. I think it's cool. So I don't know what it is, but the algorithm doesn't always work. The Trash Stash. So someone else told me about him. I do not think I've seen him, but I need to go check that out. I think it's him. I'm assuming. That's probably wrong of me to do that. Yeah. So I went obscure Christmas. I went obscure. It's all a good night. How's love? Silent night. Yeah. I gotta tell you. So like, part of the reason doing the themed movies around the holidays is hard. Christmas is hard because like, there are a lot of Christmas jokes, but they kind of all tend to overlap. And so it was really hard to kind of write Don't Open Till Christmas, because I like had to pull out every Christmas joke I could think of. And Jay was like, he's like, you've been saving these up for years, haven't you? And I'm like, yeah, kind of. So yeah, it's hard enough to do them. And then like, so maybe more obscure is the way to go. I don't know, but like, I did it because people always ask me to do a Christmas movie at Christmas, and I never do because everybody else does it. And then like this year, I'm sure, because Don't Open Till Christmas just came out on Blu-ray, that there will be a ton of videos covering that movie probably in the next 7 days. Right. And I will be one of them. And usually I don't care to be in that where, like, cause like if I come on YouTube and every channel is covering the same stuff, that I'm covering, or, in the same, in that week or whatever, it's kind of a bummer to me, because I'm like, I don't want to watch 17 videos about Black Christmas. Like, I want something else. And so that week is kind of lost when everybody's covering the same stuff, but I did it for you guys. So I hope you appreciate it. All right. What else we got over here? Bree, thank you. I discovered your show a few years back, and it was one of my faves from the start. I watch a few horror reviewers on PruTube, and I always try to make it for the live events when I can. I appreciate that, and thank you. Thank you for being here. What else have we got down here? Yeah, it is. They put Creature Features, Pat. They put out a lot of content. Although and I can't imagine that it's easy, because they have pretty decent production values. Like me, it's relatively easy because, I mean, look at this mess. I just come in here and stand at a podium. They've got to put on the costumes and get everything set. And there's 3 of them. They got to get them all mic'd up, and that's a lot of work, that show, I bet. Because my show is a lot of work, and my show doesn't look nearly that good. So yeah, I think I've got some more super chats down here that I have missed. What do we got here? All right, let me find out. Make sure I didn't miss any up here. There's P Biz. All right, Mark. Oh my God, I need new glasses. Mark Rock. Oh my God, I'm not gonna say your last name, Mark, because I'm not gonna butcher that. Do you remember those old web rings? The YouTube algorithm falls short of grouping together interests. I only found out you about 3 months ago. Keep up the sick flicks and bad puns. Well, thank you. Yeah. So this is so I don't want to make it into the YouTube stream like I always do, but I will tell you, the whole idea of algorithms and that stuff is interesting because when you're a new YouTuber, you will spend a lot of time worrying about algorithms and how to get them to promote your videos and all this stuff. And you will see a lot of videos on YouTube about how to succeed on YouTube. And a lot of them will talk about, well, everything comes down to your click through rate and your average view duration. And if you get a click through rate of like better than 8 or 10% and people watch over 50% of the video, YouTube's going to push that video wide. And my experience is after almost 200 videos is occasionally that is true, but there are many times where I have exceeded those numbers dramatically and have not gotten any kind of push. Like last week, Buried Alive had a really high click-through rate. The people who had it put in front of them clicked on it. They watched a bunch of it. And that video never got a push. I've had other videos that have had terrible numbers that suddenly the algorithm just goes, hey, let's just serve this to 1 million people and see what happens. So yeah, it's the system works, but I don't think it works as well as it should. So, and that's sometimes frustrating when you're trying to make content with the idea like, I need to get an audience to watch these things. So I need to focus on a good thumbnail and a good title and a good hook and making a good video. And then you do that and you hit the numbers they want you to hit, and then they don't do anything with it. And so you kind of just made this video that's just going to like languish in obscurity on your channel for forever. So Nicole, thank you. Been watching you for about 2 years. Love your channel. Well, thank you. It's so wild to me. Like, next year, March is 4-year anniversary. And it's like, man, 4 years has flown by. I wouldn't even know, except that I go look at my old videos and my beard is a lot more red. So otherwise it feels like it could have been about two months that I've been doing this. So it's weird how time moves, but I'm glad. Like, it's wild to me that some people have been here from the beginning, and a lot of you have been here since, the channel really kind of had a big growth spurt around the start of the pandemic that summer, which is again like 2 years ago now. So it's cool that like everybody's been here and we're still bringing in new people. I love it. So thank you for being here, and thank you for the super chat. Oh my goodness, I feel so bad at this tonight. I can't keep up. Mr. BJ Nelson, how you doing, man? Have a great holiday and a new year, Mike. Well, same to you, and thank you for coming by. Thank you for watching all my videos and all the comments. I know you're a regular commenter, and I appreciate that. So I hope you guys have a good one, and I hope you get lots of great presents. Travis Bickle, yes, I have seen The Sadness. Like it, loved it, actually. No chance in hell I could get it on YouTube. Like, so yeah, it's like sometimes people will go like, well, so-and-so got it on. And again, this is like the inconsistency. We've had, Jay will attest to this if you ever get to talk to him, that sometimes like he puts up one of my videos and it goes through fine, and then I put it up and they flag it. Or sometimes somebody does something and it gets like with Don't Open Till Christmas, we put it up and his gets copyright claimed and mine gets blocked. And with something like The Sadness, there is so much, there's so much stuff in there that I absolutely know I cannot show without, getting into trouble. That, yeah, there's just no, like if I had one of those shows where I used a lot less footage and just was talking about the movie and where the jokes weren't so reliant on you seeing what was going on screen, then that would probably work. Unfortunately, the way my show is structured, we have to use so much footage, and yeah, man, I watched that and I'm like, man, this is amazing and I love it. But I was sitting there the whole time thinking like, there's no way we can edit all this stuff out and still have like a coherent Sick Flicks episode for it. So, yeah. James Rogers, I watched about, this makes me happy. So like, it's no secret that I love Brandon Brandon Tenold's stuff. And so I am glad that people are watching a bunch of his stuff. And then it says, oh, hey, if you like this guy, you might like this idiot, Mike Bracken. Because I think it's true. If you like Brandon, you might like my idiocy. I think he's funnier than I am, but I love that guy. And I'm glad they put me in front of you after you watched his stuff. That's fantastic. Tanner's terrifying trivia. Trust me, Danny is not going away. I often think, like, I love the Danny gag. Like, that was a gag of mine. Like, the second I saw that clip in Anthropophagus, like, years ago, I've loved that clip because it's so friggin' ridiculous. The way he says, hell yeah, and the bowl cut and all that. And so for like 25 years, I have thought about that clip. And then when I got this show, we did it and I highlighted it in the show. And then it took me a while to figure out, like, I should be using this in a lot more videos. And then when I figured it out, everybody's like, oh my God, I love this guy. And now we're getting like episodes where he's in like 4 times or something. I'm like, oh my God, we're running this into the ground. People are going to start hating it. But no, nobody ever gets tired of Danny. At some point I could stop hosting the show and we'll just put Danny clips in and the channel will probably do better. So everybody loves that guy. I wish I could find him. Like I have looked for him, the actor, and I have not had any luck tracking him down because I would just love to like do something with him, like related to that, or just even just talk to the dude. Like he was in, Alien 2 and Anthropophagus and all this stuff. So I'm sure he's got a ton of great stories, but that dude is not going anywhere. Like I have no illusions that I am the star of this show. People tune in for Danny and it stinks. And that's the stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard. And bastard. I just set those jokes up and then they do the heavy lifting. So the dentist, I saw the dentist actually is like a Blu-ray out on Blu-ray now. And I really thought about doing that one. I haven't decided if we will or not, because it's a Vestron title, which is tangentially related to Lionsgate, and we've had better luck with the Vestron releases with them not getting claimed by Lionsgate, but it's still like, it's a 50-50. And if they claim them, it's more of a headache to get them back. My worry with that one is that it's too popular, but I also think like it's one of those ones that's popular, but everybody from that era loves it. So I think in 2023, we'll probably do the dentist. So Peyton Hessler, I just want to say you deadlifting 540 is insane to me. How long have you been powerlifting for? Deadlifting 540 is sometimes insane to me. I have been powerlifting seriously only for 5 years, 5 or 6 years now. Yeah, about 6 years. I was an athlete when I was young. I played some tennis. I played hockey. But I was not like ever a weightlifter, and I had buddies who lifted and they were really into it. And when I was like 12, we went to lift one day in a friend's garage and he's like, here, bench the bar. And I had no idea a bar was going to weigh 45 pounds. And so they hand me this bar on the bench, and I've never been on a bench or anything in my life. I'm like 12. And that bar just crushed me because I was not prepared for it to be 45 pounds. And I was like, screw this, weightlifting's not for me. And then, I hit my 40s and I'm like, oh, that might be fun to try. Let's go try it. And I really thought I wanted to be a bodybuilder. 100% was like, I just want to be big and jacked, and I don't care. I just want to be huge. And then I got in there and I hired a trainer who was big and huge. And I'm like, you just tell me what to do and I'm going to do it. And we'll get there, because that's how I am. And about 2 months in, I'm like, oh my God, this high rep, low weight stuff sucks. I want to go over there with these big guys who are deadlifting like 700 pounds. That's what I want to do. And that was it. That's when I became a power lifter. So yeah, 540. The goal has always been to get over 600. I'm 50 now. It's more challenging. We're taking a very serious run at, 600 plus on the deadlift and squat in 2023. One of my goals is to compete again next year. Can I get there? I don't know. I think I can. I think I've got at least 650 in the tank, but it's going to take some time. My recovery is not what it was when I was 45 or 35 or any of that. So, but yeah, powerlifting's fun, but you have to be a little crazy to do it. I tell people that all the time. So You gotta be a little crazy because like I explained this on a podcast a while back that like if you walk out like a 500-pound squat out of the rack, that's 500 pounds on your back. And if you go down and that weight starts to, and you blow it and it starts to shift funny or something like that, that weight can literally kill you. Like it can literally snap your spine if it starts to like helicopter or something like that. So you have to be a little bit crazy to get in there and like go like, oh yeah, I want to pick up this, 600-pound thing and put it on my back and hope it doesn't kill me. So, but so far I'm still alive. So I guess it's working. So. Robert, are you going to watch and review the Camp Crystal Lake series being done by Netflix? I will certainly watch it. I don't know that I will review it. Only because like the TV shows things feels like somebody else's, there are other channels that kind of do that stuff. I'm not saying that I couldn't, I probably could make it funny, but I don't have any plans to do that one. So, but maybe. How do the scores of the 80s full horror movies available on YouTube? So the copyright demon. So Kenneth, that's a good question. How it works is like in the Wild West days of YouTube, like before 2018, everything was just uploaded and it was uploaded and it went on the site and they counted on the public and copyright holders to police everything. Basically, that's why you could report videos and things like that if you thought they were inappropriate or you could claim them if you were a copyright holder. In the last couple of years, they've made this real push to have like AI machine learning scan all this stuff because there's 500 hours of video uploaded to YouTube literally every minute of the day. So there's no way team or humans or moderation people can watch all that stuff. So they had to get the machines to do it. And so now every time something is uploaded, it's scanned at upload for copyright and content. So every time I upload a video, part of the process is it uploads and then it runs like an hour's worth of checks against their database to see if it's copyrighted, if somebody has a similar copyrighted thing in their library, or if it has content that they've deemed questionable. And so the old stuff, millions of hours of footage, was never scanned. And I assume that someday YouTube will turn the bots loose on all the old stuff that's been here forever. And then that stuff will start to get claimed. But at present, it doesn't seem that they're particularly interested in doing that. And so you get hit. Like if I tried to upload a full soundtrack now, if it's in the system, I'm getting claimed before it's even done uploading. If it was up, 10 years ago, probably not getting claimed. So that's kind of how they get around it. If you were early, it was better. So yes, please smash the like button. I always wanted to say that. If it wasn't for you, I would have never seen Patrick Lives. I don't know whether to say, oh, that's awesome, or I'm sorry. Oh, that's funny. Fan from Alabama here, recommended to you a lot of friends, and we think you're cool as hell. Keep up that attitude of powerlifting. You badass MFer. Well, thank you, Sheep Shears. I appreciate that. And tell your friends I said hello and thank you. I will keep trying to lift the heavy stuff. It's cool. My Christmas movie would be Nightbreed, Clive Barker interrogation and Christmas lights. Can we start an internet thing that Nightbreed is a Christmas movie? That's the kind of mayhem I could get behind. All right. I think I'm missing more super chats down here. Let me find some. All right. What have I got here? I've got, hang on. Trying to catch up here. Oh my God, I missed a bunch. See, this is why you can't let me start talking because then I miss everything. Xstore 1220, thank you. Would just like to say that I very much enjoy your content. Your reviews are always entertaining. Thank you. Well, thank you. I try. Sometimes the funny thing about doing the show is like it's really hard to make these things funny sometimes. Like sometimes the movies are so bad it's easy, and sometimes they're just bad and like it's hard to, and like I don't generally do things I'm not already intimately familiar with, but yeah, sometimes I'm like, ooh, it would be a lot easier if I just did like straight movie reviews instead of having to write all these jokes. But I'm glad they entertain you, so thank you. All right, we got, oh my goodness, JGWUF Gator. Okay, I got that. I don't know. I'm not going to try to pronounce it, but thank you. I appreciate that. Super chat. No question though. You didn't get your question in. When you do a super chat, you got to ask me a question, man. That's the least I can do is answer a question for you. All right, what do we got down here that I missed? I see more. Disinterested hand job is back. Do you follow World? Yes, I do follow World's Strongest Man, like religiously. But I'll tell you something funny. As a guy who's a power lifter and has done strongman training and been around a lot of strongmen, and it sounds terrible. That's a hell yeah waiting to happen, right? It's funny that like powerlifters and strongmen can be the biggest prima donnas around. Like the amount of things you will hear, like the catty things in the back room at these competitions is just sort of insane. So, and then I think all the time, like, just look at Hathor and Eddie Hall before that boxing match. Like the amount of cattiness those two had for each other is just sort of unreal for two guys who are like 1,000-pound deadlifters. Like, so yes, but I do follow it. Yeah, I do follow it very closely, actually. Big fan. It's a shame the sport is like really interesting and it's just so poorly marketed that like it should be way bigger than it is. Like all those guys are just such nutty, interesting psychos that they're like fascinating to watch. Like a lot of them, like Eddie Hall has a great personality. Brian Shaw is, the straight arrow guy. Nick Best is funny. So you see all these guys and like, why is this sport not bigger? And it's because they just don't market their athletes very well. So Sean McKinley, thank you. Merry Christmas. Hell yeah. Merry Christmas and hell yeah to you. I appreciate that. And we got Jonah down here, a little gift to thank you for all the laughs and all the bloody good times with Sick Flicks. I appreciate that. And thank you, man. I'm glad you're enjoying the show. So my Titan, with all the power lifts you have done, would you be the new Terminator? No, I'm not big enough. I'm bigger than the T-1000, but I'm not Arnold size. Can't do it. Arnold would crush me. All right, Ethan. Hey, Ethan, how you been, man? Hope you're well. Plant-based powerlifting for improved recovery. Yeah, man, I can't do it, man. I like meat too much. That's another hell yeah, right? Yeah, I enjoy the steaks just too much to go the plant-based. I could like mix some in, but I couldn't. I don't think I could switch to the vegan powerlifting. Cinecrip, thanks for all you do. Surprise embrace of the vampire didn't get flagged. Man, I was super careful with that one. That's why that didn't get flagged. I was a little afraid it was going to get flagged after we did it, only because it was Stars Anchor Bay, and then like somewhere had it listed as a Lionsgate title, and I didn't realize that at the time, or I would have probably rethought doing it. Although I really wanted to do it because I thought like, oh, we've had such good luck with Tracy Lords and Linnea Quigley. Yeah, well, Alyssa Milano should be a hit, right? And it has been, but yeah, Jay and I are like really careful with that stuff now, which is what always kills me that YouTube gives me so much fucking bullshit about everything, because we literally go out of our way to be super conservative on stuff because I get hammered on so many things. And it's like, I'd rather just be safe and not have to go back and re-edit and re-upload and re-export and all that stuff, because that takes hours. And even then, like, they still get me on stuff. So, but that one we were super careful with. Like, you should see, like, someday I should post a script of the show, because there are like all the jokes with the timestamps, and then, like notes if it's dialogue or not. And then there are a lot of notes in some of these scripts that say, watch out for boobs on the left, or watch out for dong in the background, or, so like, because like we have to go through, and you can't just look at the actors in the scene. I have to look at the background of every scene to make sure there's not like a stray boob on a wall or a poster with something objectionable in it, because the AI will find it. So yeah, this is the fun. Being a YouTuber is very glamorous, let me tell you. So yeah, we did not get flagged on that one, which was nice. I was a little worried we were going to get claimed more than flagged. I thought like we can make this work without I'll be on. You know what I thought was I was gonna get in trouble for was the thumbnail. Um, Originally we had a thumbnail that was more of her in the Charlotte Lewis scene where her shirt's open, but you couldn't see anything. And I'm like, oh, they're gonna get me on this. So we had to go with the other one. But yeah. Matt Harney, happy birthday, Mike. It's not my birthday, Matt. You know that. But thank you. Oh, goodness. You guys kill me. Kill me. All right. I see a dong in the background. I got to scroll down for this comment. Yes, dong in the background, which has happened. Don't tell anyone. But if you go through, I think it's the Hills Run Red, there's not dong in the background, but apparently there is a boob I missed. So, and that was not intentional. It's literally in the background of a scene. And one of my friends saw it and he's like, oh, you missed one. And I'm like, what? So yeah, sometimes we miss them. The AI never misses though. Very rarely. So, all right, what else have we got here? Oh, have you ever seen that one really bad baseball slasher movie called The Pitcher or something like that? And is that the one with the girls at the softball game? Is that the one you're talking about? I almost bought that. I've never seen it. There's one like that with that same sort of premise that I just talked about. That is on Blu-ray from like Severin or Vinegar Syndrome, and I was like, I've never seen this. I should pick it up, but I have not. So. ZZ Top, Dave. Yes, I am the lost member. I'm the guy who got kicked out of the band. My beard wasn't long enough. Robotrics. I think YouTube only cares about stuff they have to pay money to the uploader for. Yeah, I think there's some truth to that. I think this is something I've talked about in the past as well, where they one of the sort of catches of YouTube, the problem with the system is that like they don't want to be involved in the copyright claim stuff. That's between you and the company claiming it, and they're just an intermediary who forwards your appeal or tells you it was rejected. And the reason why is because they don't care. They like if they have to pay 55% of the ad revenue to me or to Lionsgate, they still get their 45% regardless. So they don't care. Like there's no stake in them. They have to pay either way and they get their cut regardless, whether whoever it goes to. So, I get that that's part of that safe harbor thing so that internet sites aren't liable for things that are posted on them. But at the same time, if you want 45% of the ad money I generate for you, you should probably have my back a little more because I'm making you money. So, but they don't. And that's one of those things that absolutely frustrates me to no end. All right, what do we got down here? Yeah, Silent Night, Deadly Night. Like I thought, man, you know what it is? Like if I start that, then we have to go through all of them, and I'm terrible about finishing series. Is we've never we have not had very many sequels on the show. Like I'm good for doing the first movie of a franchise and then never going back. I mean, we had Demons 2, I guess we got, and technically, Day of the Dead. But not like I've still never gone back and done Hellraiser 2 or, a lot of that stuff. So yeah. And I feel like if I do Silent Night, Deadly Night, you're kind of in for the whole haul. Same with like 75 versions of Witchcraft, those movies. So I don't know that we'll ever do those. I was scared shitless by Jerry Lewis and the Nutty Professor when I was a kid. I'm sorry, Renee. That's funny, though. Oh, all right. Live chat review, very watchable, 10 out of 10. Well, thank you. I feel like every time I do one of these, I'm just an absolute train wreck. I come in, I miss half the comments, I fucking ramble for 3 hours, and I go, good night. And that's it. And I'm like, why does anybody come for these? I'm never prepared. I don't even know how to work my own equipment, as witnessed by the launch of this one. So, yeah. but I'm glad someone's enjoying it. Oh, Bats, thank you for asking this. What is the origin of the football practice joke? Can't seem to find that episode. This is the two most commonly asked questions I get are what movie is the hell yeah guy from? That's Anthropophagus. And the other one is what is the origin of football practice? So football practice is, if you don't know, if I haven't answered it for you before, it's a Mystery Science Theater 3000 joke. It's not one of the ones that they have used a lot, but it is semi-recurring and sort of obscure. Like they used it in, oh God. I know they used it in the movie, like when Cal is on the plane going to Brack's place. He wakes up when they land, and Servo's like football practice, and it's a tie back to, they do it whenever somebody wakes up from a dream, and it actually ties back to the exact gag is in Wes Craven's Shocker. And so you know, I am a huge Mystery Science Theater 3000 fan, and it's very obvious that without Mystery Science Theater 3000, I would not be doing this, because they're, you know, sort of the inspiration for all of us who do riff reviews. And so like whenever I can put in something that pays homage to those guys, I do, because I feel like I owe them a lot just for the entertainment and, you know, just inspiring me to do this. And so that is the origin of football practice. It's a Mystery Science Theater 3000 joke. I think a beard would suit you, Mike. You should try growing one. I'm going to try it one of these days. I'm just like dabbling right now. I haven't gotten serious about it yet. Hi from Tokyo. Discovered you only a few months ago. These live sessions are also awesome. To see your real character. Enjoy the trend references. I always wonder, like I have a little group of people who laugh at all the steroids jokes that go in these videos. And I'm always like, does anybody even get these? Does anybody know what this even is? But I'm glad a few of you do, just because I being a power lifter, you hear a lot of steroid jokes. And so that and curling in the squat rack. So yeah. I'm glad somebody appreciates those though. I learned from a computer education channel that YouTube runs sound through the sub caption, then analyzes the captions to pick out banned language. That's probably true. I have never, like, they're so secretive about everything, but that would totally make sense to me. Of course, that's probably why I get away with Christ I'm old, because it says Christ I'm old every time in the captions, which, you know, is like when you wake up with eye boogers, I guess. But Jay's here, Bloodbath TV. Say hi to Jay, everybody. He's the guy who's makes all the editing magic happen. So like, if you really love that gummy bears drop in the video a couple weeks ago, he's who did it. I wrote a joke. He made that magic happen. That was not me. So, so say thanks to Jay and hi. Hope you're good, man. Tubi is a gold mine for horror movies. Tubi is probably the best horror streaming site out there, and it's free. You know, like I love Shudder, and Netflix's selection is terrible, but sometimes there's stuff in there, and Prime, you know, you can find stuff if you dig. Tubi's selection, every time I go over there, just blows me away with how much stuff they have that you would just not expect them to have. Like a lot of, and I don't go over there to pick movies like, oh, this is on Tubi, so we can send people over there to watch it. But often the movies I like that I would cover on the show are on Tubi. So somebody who's the programmer at Tubi and I have very similar tastes, and I wish they would sponsor the show because I do so many of their movies. Bloodbath TV. I like meat too much. Horror Geek 2022. Yep. Put it on my tombstone, man. I like a good steak. Chris Andrews just popping out to say thank you for all the great content, and I cannot wait to see what you get cooked up for us next year. Well, thank you. Hopefully a lot of cool new stuff. You know, I'm good at like coming up with like great ideas, and unfortunately there's only one of me and one of Jay. And so like I have all these awesome ideas for things that would be cool to do, and I just don't have time to get to them. So hopefully in 2023, we're making a very concerted effort to get ahead on Sick Flicks episodes, so I have time to sprinkle in some other things and see what people react to and like and don't like. And you know, I would like us to have at least another show on the channel type thing. Just to kind of mix it up. And so that like I love sick flicks. I would do sick flicks forever. It's time consuming, but like, I don't want to get where I just do it so long with nothing else that I feel like I'm burnt out on it or something like that. So if I put in a second show where I get to like talk about movies in a different way, or, like Skin Flicks would have been perfect, or, like something about crazy action movies or just horror movies in a different approach. That just make it interesting for me, and it gives you guys more stuff to watch. So, and it will never be totally serious, because I just can't do that anymore. So Danny may turn up in there somewhere. From what I've gathered, I'm about 4 years younger than you, and I'm proud to say that there's only been one or two Christ time old bits I either haven't instantly recognized or at least heard of. Yeah. You know what surprised me this week was so many people didn't know who Mr. Whipple was. You guys really are young if you don't know who Mr. Whipple was. So, oh, appreciate the content. Feel like lifting was a hot thing back in the 80s. Yeah, probably. It was bodybuilding sure was. Powerlifting was less so, but yeah, bodybuilding in the 80s was big. So I'm a vegetarian powerlifter. How does that work for you? Do you find it like you feel like you're getting enough protein, enough calories? You're recovering, you're building muscle still? Like I'm old, man. Like I feel like I need as much protein and help as I can get without taking tren. Hey, what's all your favorite Christmas horror movie? Well, I think mine is Black Christmas. So that's it. Yes, Bloodbath TV is Jay, guys. Also Bloodbath and Beyond. I'm sure you know Jay. He said my real name. Yes, I did, Jay. Hey, my Titan. I'm sorry if you left already. Merry Christmas to you, and thanks for coming by. All right, I missed some super chats. Let's go back. See, I need like a secretary to like run the chat for me, because I am just not good at this. See, like I scrolled past them all. Scroll back. Ombra 711. Here's the 4 more years of location establishing shots. Man, yeah. I hope your livers are prepared. Thanks for all the videos. I get to see a lot of horror films I generally wouldn't watch. Also, your Jim Ross, not so bad. Well, thank you. I've been really working on the JR for 4 years now. I would hope it was getting a little better. Someone the other day said, oh, you should do Jesse Ventura. You're more of a Jesse Ventura. And I'm like, ooh, that might be something. Except that every time I try to do Jesse Ventura, it comes out sounding like Macho Man. I don't know why, but in my brain, they sound alike. So... Oh, your movie reviews inspire me to watch these movies I find on Tubi. Thank you for that. I'm like, well, I'm glad. This is like one of those things. Like the whole point of the show for me is to share. Like I have spent like an insane amount of time watching movies, terrible movies that I love, and it's nice to find like 72,000 people who are like, yeah, I like these terrible movies too, or I want to learn more about them or see ones I missed. So like knowing that I'm helping people discover Bruno Mattei and Claudio Fragasso or Argento or Fulci or, some of these, like Demon Wind and things like that, that just makes me super happy because I love those films and I've spent 20 years plus trying to get more people to watch them. So that it helps you find them makes what I do worthwhile to me. So thank you. Bastard of Bodum, thank you. It's going pretty well. We had a little rough, rocky start if you were here because I can't work the equipment and we got some echo and I didn't have sound because I'm hitting the wrong buttons, but other than that, I think we sort of recovered. I'm here babbling. So there's that, right? So yeah, I think we're doing all right. Don't squeeze the Charmin, right? Yeah, like you'd be amazed. Like I seriously, like a lot of time when I do the Christ I'm old bit, I'm like, oh, most people probably still remember this stuff. And I thought Mr. Whipple was so like common knowledge. And then for people not to know who he was, I was sort of blown away. Like a lot of people were like, I don't know who Mr. Whipple is. That's the first one I didn't know. So Oh, so what else have we got here? All right. Yes, please don't squeeze the Charmin. I love your channel so much. I come for watch you all the. I love that people will tell me like, oh, I put you on and then I go to sleep, and I'm like, well, that's sweet, and I'm like, I hope it's not because I'm so boring, but yeah, it's funny to me that like people want to hear me talk about these gory movies and that's their comfort, but I'll take that. Would I consider Predator a sci-fi horror movie? Yes. Yeah, I think so. It definitely falls in there for me. So, hey Mike, love the show, but please, can you do Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things? Yeah, it's probably 2023. Like I've had like a lot of people ask for it, which means it's gonna bomb, but I'll do it anyway. And it's one that's been on the list since the beginning. I just hadn't got to it yet. But yeah, I think there's a Blu-ray out, so definitely will do that. Gremlins is a good Christmas horror film. I'll give you that. That's a good one. I am not watching Mr. Olympia tonight. Big Raimi is winning. Yeah, I would be surprised if he didn't. That dude's a monster. Big Raimi. You mean you like Black Christmas 2019? Yes, that's exactly what I meant. Which version of Black Christmas? Yeah, I didn't think I had to clarify, but the original, and you know why? It's got John fucking Saxon in it. How can I not love it? Oh, 56 and a power lifter, but may have to change things soon due to oldness. Well, I hope not. But if you do, I hope you find something similar, a way to continue to be strong and lift that makes you happy. My fear is like I will get to a point where I can't move the weight anymore, and then I'm like, oh, I guess I have to go bodybuild, and then I'll be bored in 3 weeks and quit and just sit on my couch and be fat. So very much a possible outcome for me. Who got a screenwriter's credit, Albert? Yeah, I'm aware that people want to see Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things, and I am going to try to make that happen next year. So, what have we got here? Oh, Frank and H was on the list until I was not allowed to say the H word anymore. Now I'm like afraid to even think about doing that one. Basket case is one that has been asked for a bunch of times, and I will probably do it at some point. I am not like the psycho huge fan of that film that so many other people are. Like, I don't dislike it. I think Frank is an interesting guy, Frank Henenlotter, and so yeah, I would like to do it because I think it's an important film and it's worth talking about, but I've not seen it in a long time. And I'm like, when I think about it, I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to make this super funny, but I should go back and revisit it and see. Without an establishing shot, how would we know we were indoors? Right. And it's especially important if you were already indoors and then we get an establishing shot so that we can go right back indoors. Cause sometimes I forget I'm indoors. And so it's good to like be reminded that I was indoors, but it was indoors here. And now we can go back in. So I always like the hip hop references. I do too. And I'm glad everyone and so many other people do. I'm a big hip hop head. So those are all legit. Those are not like something where I go like, ooh, I need something funny here. And I have to go Google for an hour to find out who X Clan is. I know who X Clan is. So I own all their CDs. Macho Man was great. My Macho Man is passable, I think, but it's also funny because every time I do the Kool-Aid Man busting through the wall with the, oh yeah, it comes out like Macho Man, and nobody's ever called me on it. But every time I do it, I'm like, oh my God, that was your Macho Man. That wasn't your Kool-Aid Man. So, oh yeah. Hi, Mike. Holiday greetings from Belgium. Well, thank you. Greetings from Florida. It's actually cold here tonight, sort of like it's like in the 50s. Which, if you live somewhere where it snows, it's not that cold, but in Florida, that's pretty cold. So, What have I missed here? Missed a few super chats. All right, got some down here. What is this? Flustered. Sorry. I'm like so blind. Thanks for everything, Mike. I never miss an episode. I appreciate that. Thank you for the super chat, and thank you for not missing an episode. This is like seriously, the fact that so many of you turn up for the premieres and turn up to watch the videos in the first 24 hours they're out is a huge thing. Like YouTube is very, very interested in how videos do, like in that first 48 hours and stuff, and kind of determines whether they get pushed out to a bigger audience beyond the subscriber base. So like the people who subscribe coming to watch videos is super helpful. If you see them on Wednesday or by Thursday when they come out, obviously you can watch them whenever you want. You can watch them as many times as you want, but if you can, it really helps. And so I'm incredibly grateful. One of the interesting things about the channel is that we're getting close to 75,000 subs. I would like to hit 100 next year. But what's really fascinating about the channel when I talk to people is like, we have like almost 200 videos. And out of that 200, I think we've got about 16 that have hit 100,000 views. So the rest of them have not. And then of that 16, the two biggest are Poughkeepsie Tapes and Cannibal Ferox, which are both closing in on 500,000 views. And 500,000 views is a lot of views, but in the grand scheme of things, like it's not a lot of views for a channel that's, closing in on 100,000 subscribers. Usually like a lot of channels that get to that point have a few that go sort of super viral, get, 1 million views or, 1.5 million or something like that. I do not have that, but I'm very blessed in that whenever I put out a video, you can pretty much take it to the bank that it's going to get somewhere between 25 and 50,000 views in that first week or so, which is like super consistent, especially for only having, 75,000 subs. That's a huge amount of ratio of people coming to view the video compared to my subscriber base. So that helps the channel a ton when you guys do that. And I'm incredibly appreciative of it. So if you can come watch them early, fantastic. What are we talking about? Ebola syndrome. I did that one. That one got age gated. I think it got age gated because of that golden shower, that scene, and the square dance description of sex. I think that's what got me. Do I follow professional thumb wrestling? No. Those slap competitions are pretty interesting, though. I'll give you that. Shit, man. Everything passes World's Strongest Man in terms of viewership. Do not entry. Yes. Do you know what movie that's from? I'm sure Dante does. Oh, don't bother with LA. Yeah. So that one that was one where I was going to buy it, and I probably still will. But when I saw it, I'm like, there's no way this is getting on the show. They're not going to let me get away with that title. So yeah, Armando does need more love. I mean, we got the first Blind Dead film, but I would really like to go back and do the rest of those at some point, but I don't know when I'll get to them. The first one actually did pretty good. So Trail Runner Life, thank you. Love the channel. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Hope you're well. Hope you're having a happy holiday. Hope you're enjoying the live stream. Listening to me babble. So what else we got down here? You have a very comforting voice, Mike. Well, thank you. The amount of comments I get that are nasty, not a lot, but some people just hate my voice, and I'm like, I can't do anything about it, man. That's just my voice. Like when I do the Horror Geek voice, that's a little different, but like, well, my voice is my voice, man. I guess I could start smoking or something, but yeah, that and the other one I get is like people randomly love to complain about my thumbnails or my fingernails, and I have talked about this before. I'm terrible about clipping my fingernails, and it's because I was a notorious nail biter as a child into young adulthood. Like I would gnaw my fingernails until they bled. Um, and I quit. And so like part of quitting though is like so now I'm not gnawing on them all the time. And so they get long and I don't pay any attention to them. And I don't think about it. And the other thing is like I purposely often grow my forefinger and thumb long because when I deadlift, I hook grip and I don't have big hands. Like I have relatively normal sized hands. And so like hook gripping where you got to wrap the finger around the thumb around the bar, like my thumbs are not long. So it's hard to get that second finger locked in. And so the extra thumbnail helps make that happen. It gives you a little something extra to grip onto. And like, I'm like, why do you care about my fingernails? Like, if I want to grow my fingernails long, what do you care? I'm not going to hold your hand. So yeah, but anyway, that was a weird tangent, but yeah, I get those two a lot. The voice and the fingernails. I don't know why. All right, find some stuff. Did I miss some stuff here? Rachel, thank you. I'm not even going to try to mess up your last name. Reminding you to check out Devil Times 5, aka People Toys, production issues and reshoots galore. Lack of continuity and a young. You're speaking my language right now. Lack of continuity and a young Leaf Garrett. Like I could come up with like 20 Leaf Garrett jokes just in anticipation. Yeah, I will have to check that out. Is that on disc? I have not seen that, so. Have I missed anything else back here? Make sure I miss any. What we got down? I see a nails con. Quit chewing your nails. Look what I did quit. I was just like, man, I was just a stressed out kid, man. I was stressed about everything, and that was how I could. I'd sit in class and be stressed, and I'd just be gnawing away, and like no fingernails, and it's like down to the quick, and everything's cracked and terrible, and I quit, and now it's like I just don't think about clipping them. I don't look at my hands a lot, so. This has been a great stream. We could talk about my fingernails and my other hygiene habits. How often do you trim your beard, Mike? All right, let me find something else to talk about here. I usually miss the premieres, but love watching them. Look, it's fine. If you miss the premieres, it's not a big deal. We tend to like the premieres are great. I do them because I like to see people react to the videos. So that's largely why I do them. And I like to come hang out with you guys while you watch it. But if you can't make it, not a big deal. You can watch it whenever you want. And if you could happen to be able to watch it in that first day or two, great. But if it takes you, like if you have life happen or you got other stuff going on, I'm happy for views whenever you're ready to watch it. They're there forever until YouTube takes them down and bans me. So don't ever feel bad about missing a premiere. Gun stash. Don't feel bad about that. It's the holidays. If money's tight, keep your money, man. I'm all right. I'm good. I will keep going. Thank you. We will try to keep the show rolling as long as I can. I don't think it'll be me. I think it'll be YouTube that's had enough of me at some point. Oh, your work schedule changed. Can't you like sneak off to the bathroom for like 15 minutes at 9:45 on Wednesdays, man? Come on, John. Think outside the box. Pooping. There's nothing better than pooping on the company's time and watching sick flicks while you're doing it. I do need that cool silver plaque, Bill. I really do. And how are you, man? I haven't got to talk to you lately. I hope you're well. Yeah, I don't know why I want one. Like, it doesn't mean anything. I'd much rather have them pay me a bunch of money than give me a plaque. But there's something about the plaque. It's really quite clever what YouTube has done with those plaques. Like, it's like this dangling carrot in front of you your whole career. Like, can I get this plaque? And then you get it, and then it's like, oh, but now I need the gold one at 1 million. And like, you're like, oh my God, it took me 6 years to get to 100,000. It'll take me 20 to get to 1 million. So yeah, but those plaques, I've never even seen one in person. Like Jay has one for Bloodbath and Beyond, so he can testify to the quality of the plaque that I cannot. But I bet they're not like as fancy as they look, but I still want one. Oh, William Curry. Yes, I have considered the Coffin Joe films. I had huge plans to like really do like the history of gore cinema type stuff. And that basically starts with H.G. Lewis and Coffin Joe and a couple other films. And what I have found that's really unfortunate about YouTube is that like there is like a cutoff date where stuff is just too old to be of interest to a kind of the audience who's going to grow your channel type thing. And for me, if we do anything, with rare exceptions, older than 1975, like you can just you just know that the views will be a fraction of what they were for stuff from the 80s and 90s and newer. And we found that out with Blood Feast. Blood Feast was just never got a ton of views, and it's like I think it's a pretty good video. Like I probably wouldn't think it was as good now as I did at the time, but it still holds up pretty well. And they just would not. I just could not get people to watch that. And I've seen it happen with other channels. So like even if you look at James over at Dead Meat, if he does something like he did one of those old Dick Miller movies, A Bucket of Blood, and like that really at the time underperformed for what he was putting up compared to his other videos. And so you see it. And so it's hard because I want to do those things because they're important to do. But the other part of it is that it's hard to make a video and spend 20 plus hours on it if you know people are not going to watch it. And so sometimes I make them anyway, but sometimes it's like, why would I give this slot to this movie instead of something that more people are interested in or going to watch? And that's one of those things where like, if I hope for 2023 with being able to produce more videos and have weeks where we get out like 2 shows, maybe not 2 sick flicks, but a sick flicks and something else, that it will free me up to care less about that because I will have a video that's going to do what it's supposed to do in terms of views and revenue and growing the channel. And then these other videos would go in as like bonuses. And so I would not have such a concern about them. Like if a video doesn't make enough money, I can't pay Jay. I have to pay Jay out of my pocket. So that's always like a consideration. Like you don't want to lose money on videos, but where if we go to like 2 a week and we have one that does what it's supposed to do, and then I slot in another one that doesn't, maybe is not as broad appeal, it's not a big deal because we've already paid the bills. So that's the weird thing about YouTube is like this mix of art and commerce. Like I'm trying to make videos I want to make. I'm trying to make the videos that I think are important, but at some point I also have to think like the videos cost money to make and time and stuff like that. And if we make something that I know people are not going to watch, it's like, well, this is not smart from a business perspective. So hope that helps. But yes, I would love to do those. I love Coffin Joe. I want to do them. He's super important. His films are super interesting. And I would like to do that. And I'm hoping that with, if we get to a point where we're making more videos next year, that we can slot those in somehow. So it's on my list, my never ending list. Hi, Gamma Base. How are you? Nice fan. To me, sub sounds kind of demeaning. How about rockin' fans or smart folks? That's just what YouTube calls you guys, man. You guys want a different name? Come up with one. I'll call you whatever you want. Subs does sound a little submissive though. I'm happy to have been here since 7K. It's wild. Like the weird thing about YouTube is like, especially for me, has been like this channel has grown fairly fast, like comparatively speaking. Like if you watch a lot of YouTube, you'll hear guys talk about how Mr. Beast made like 1,000 videos before he got any traction, or 100 videos, or MKBHD made all these videos and he had like 70 subs or something like that, or 70 smart fans. I'm sorry. And so my channel really, like, it took me 10 months to get to 1,000, and then it just took off. Like from 1,000 to 50,000 was like pretty quick in the grand scheme of things. And yeah, it's so wild to think back in the days when I had 7,000 or 700, or You know, like it seems both really a long time ago and like not that long ago at all, but I'm glad you've been here that long. I appreciate it. We wouldn't have got here without all of you. So Mr. Green 88. I've only found your channel in the last few months and binged, I think, most all of your old vids, so I can't watch anything old anymore. So the premieres are a big deal for me. Well, you can watch the old videos. So don't feel like I can't watch them. You can watch them again. I won't discourage you from doing that. But yes, the premieres are fun for me. Like I like doing them. You know, like I said, I like to just see like that core 300-400 people who show up for it, what they laugh at, what they, you know, what they comment on and things like that. And sometimes it's great because they laugh at things that I didn't think were going to get big laughs, or they laugh at things I did think are going to get big laughs. And sometimes they're terrible because I said Bitchin' Camaro was by the Dead Kennedys and not the Dead Milkmen. And I've got 300 people all at once going, it's the Dead Milkmen. And so that's less fun. No, seriously, it's fine. I screwed that up. That was my fault. But yeah, so I really do like the premieres. It's good for like we have a little community here. Well, not even a little community. We have a community here, and I'm happy for that. I'm like, I love you guys, and I love to hear from you. I read all the comments. I cannot answer all the comments anymore. It's too much. I can't keep up with it. I try to answer as many as possible, and I always heart them. So, you know, I read them. So yeah, I do read them all still, to this day. And I'm incredibly touched that so many people want to hang out and watch these videos and things like that. So super cool. All right. I got some super chats down here that I have missed, I think. Oh yeah. All right. Albion Rare. As a 35-year-old boomer, I know about a lot of the stuff when you say Christ, I'm old. Also, your voice when you say let's get into sounds like a game from the early. What game? That's cool. I don't know what game it is though. But yeah, I like that. I probably played it. All right. And Gamma Base, what do I got here? Thank you. We are friends on Facebook. Your vids help me with my depression. And as you would say, Christ, I'm old. So this is another one of those things that like, I don't get to talk about enough. Like so many people come to me and say like, your vids have helped me through a tough time or when I was depressed or going through a bad spot. And, that is like super touching to me. Like I'm a big softie. I'm not a big softie if you make me angry, but until you make me angry, I'm like the biggest softie in the world. And so, so that to hear that like people are like, I was depressed and your videos make me laugh or make me forget about these things I'm going through or make it a little more manageable. I'm super happy to do that. I'm super touched. I just make silly videos and I'm glad they have that impact. So I'm sorry that so many people are kind of struggling with things. I think everybody does, but I'm glad that like in my own little way, I can make these videos and they, you know, help people have a better day, which is, you know, a huge reward for me. So Gigantor, this is beautiful. I don't know if I'd go that far. It's just my ugly mug, my big giant melon head. Filthy McNasty. Have you ever thought of dreadlocking your beard, Horror Geek? No, I've thought of Viking braiding it, but you know, I had dreadlocks. I had very long dreadlocks when I was on Beat the Geeks. So I feel like dreadlocking the beard would just be redundant at this point. I'd just be covering ground I've already covered. So the point of all this jibber jabber is he loves us. Yes. Damn it, Jay. Oh, that's funny. Danny and Hell Yeah will always make me laugh. Well, that's music to my ears because you're going to get a lot more Danny. Until people stop laughing at him, you're going to get a lot more of them. So one word, Highlander. I love Highlander. What are we doing with Highlander though? Like I always say, like if I ever, you know, cause I'm a writer, if I ever sell something to Hollywood and they make it and they come to me and they're like, well, we really want to buy this script from you and make it into a movie. What do we have to pay you? And what are we going to have to give you to make this happen? And I'm going to be like, well, you can pay me, you know, X millions of dollars, but what I really want is to let me reboot Highlander. So That's like my dream. I might even forego the millions of dollars if they let me do Highlander. You're beautiful in your own right, but I meant the community. That's good. Thank you for clarifying. Yeah, the Viking braid, we've talked about doing that a bunch of times, and I'm just lazy. I have like a lot of days I just can't get focused enough to get it done. So Mark, yes, I was on Beat the Geeks. I was the horror geek and had the dreads, much younger, probably fatter. Which is hard to believe. Galloway, I've just started getting into horror and your videos are the absolute best. Thanks for introducing me to some hidden gems. I am glad to have done that. I really do love that. That I can sort of curate, people's trips into areas of horror they're not familiar with, or help them get into horror films in general, or learn about these filmmakers. And I really love that stuff. So Mike's the Mr. Rogers of gore. That's sweet. I mean, just for that, next time we do a live stream, I'm going to have a little sweater. I'm going to come in and be like, we got to put on my sweater and my shoes, and we'll get ready. So would love to see a side project of the Horror Geek for some Highlander content. You and me both. I'm like 100% serious. If they come to me and ever want to buy anything of mine, the price involves letting me do something with Highlander. I love Highlander. I saw Highlander at I think I was like 13, and I was at my grandmother's, and we went to see some friends of the family, and they had a Betamax, and they had Highlander, and it was like 2:00 in the morning, and they're like, we're going to bed, but you can stay up and watch whatever you want. And I'm like, well, I'm watching Highlander. And that was a life-changing experience for me. So I don't even know who I would cast for Highlander at this point, Chuck. Yeah, I don't even know. I almost think I would want to cast someone completely unknown. Because I think they had what did they have, Ryan Reynolds was attached a couple years ago, and Henry Cavill, and I like those guys, but I don't know if I want them to be the Highlander. I don't know if I want them to be a McLeod. So yeah, but I'm not sure. Jason Lane, we just talked about this. Yeah, going more Jesse Ventura than Jim Ross. Yeah, were you the person who left the comment telling me that maybe I should try Jesse? Because you might be onto something. I'm gonna have to watch some Jesse videos and try it out, see how I feel about it. Have you ever walked out of a movie? Mine was Dr. Giggles. I sat through Dr. Giggles, actually. I made it to the end. Yeah, I have walked out of movies. I have not walked out of a horror movie in the theater. I walked out of what did we walk out? I walked out. Oh, you remember that goofy mobster movie, My Blue Heaven? I walked out of that. I was like, this is dumb. Yeah, but yeah, Dante, Zombie Lake is coming next year for sure. It's very high on the list. So Bill Olaf Ittenbach, man, you want to get me banned? I love them. I absolutely want to do more Olaf films. I would love to do Black Past and Burning Moon and all of that stuff. But man, what will I show? There's nothing I can show. They went back and, I did Premutos back when the channel was still relatively new, and I got away with a lot more, and they came back to that one and age gated it. So with the quickness, that one got through for a month and they were fine. And then it was no, sorry, this is age gated and don't do that again. No one you know. By the way, will little bloopers at the end be making a return? This is interesting. So bloopers at the end of the videos will not be making a return because, as I've said, the problem was that some of you love them. I love them. Many of you do not stick around to watch them, which hurts retention at the end of the video. So it was absolutely hurting the channel having them in. Like, and we had them in for a long time because I loved doing them. I thought they were silly and goofy. And it's just like me being me, and swearing a lot, which I do all the time. But they were not helping retention. Like, people were getting to the gore card and to the barf bags and then bailing. And so that was like sending YouTube this message that like, there's like 2 minutes or 3 minutes left of this video and everybody's bailing. It must be bad. And so they weren't recommending, they weren't getting a recommendation for another video. And it was sending this signal to YouTube that like, we were just not clicking. And so when we took them out, they got much better. I have struggled with what to do about them ever since, because the people who love them ask about them all the time and I miss doing them. The one potential solution, and I just started thinking about this because it's a new thing and we didn't have this before, and I don't know if we'll do it or not, but Patreon has set it up where you can now upload video directly to Patreon. So I could take those outtakes if we have them and turn them into a video, and they would just live on the Patreon for the patrons type thing. I hate the idea of like blocking them away behind a paywall type thing, but I can't post them on the end of the videos because they hurt the videos. I can't post them as their own videos because there's not enough interest and it hurts the channel. So this is like the only potential solution that I have now. And I'm not sure it's even a solution, but it's just something that's come up in like the last couple of weeks that I've been thinking about. So we may try putting them up over there and see if people want to see them. And if you want to join the Patreon for, like $3 a month, you can see every bit of the outtakes and all the other stuff over there, which I need to do more of. So we will probably experiment with that next year and see if there's any interest. If not, I'm fine with not doing them anymore. But if people really want them, this is a place I can put them where it doesn't impact my channel at all, but people still get them. So maybe. That's a long way to say maybe. Johnny G, what's your favorite review so far? This is a tough question because I look at all my reviews and think like, I'm convinced every one of them is terrible when I write it. Literally every week, I'm like, oh, this is the end. This is the end of the show. This is the end of me on YouTube because this is terrible and nobody's going to watch it and everybody's going to hate it and it sucks. And then I send it to Jay and then Jay makes it better. So Jay saves my ass every week, basically in the edit. So yeah. But favorites. So it's hard to pick a favorite when you're convinced they all suck. But my favorites, I do have a list of favorites. And I'm really interested. I would love to do like a community poll thing where people talk about what their favorite episode is, because I'm just endlessly fascinated, because sometimes people like ones that I think are terrible, and sometimes people hate ones that I think are really good. And so I'm just interested in that. Like, I'm just interested in what people like anyway. But my favorites, Phantasm is one that I think is an old one that's really good. Like that Gary Coleman joke in that video still makes me laugh every time. And it was like a totally spontaneous thing. Like, that line came up in the movie and that joke just wrote itself. That one, I think, Cruel Jaws is really good still. Like, that one cracks me up. Yeah, those two are like, pretty top tier for me, without looking at the list. But, yeah, it's hard to pick a favorite. But yeah, I am genuinely curious. We may do a poll on the community tab. So if you guys want to like vote or pick your favorite, or which one was your favorite of this year or something like that, I'm absolutely interested in knowing that, because it's funny to me. It's interesting, but yeah. So hopefully that answer, that was not the best answer for that question, but I tried. I think I missed a super chat in here. Let me see. Yes, I did. Tracy Ann, love your channel, Mike. Love from the UK. Well, thank you. Greetings from Florida. I hope you're having a good evening, and the holiday season is good, and that you're having a good time at the live stream. So what else have we got down here? Be sure to include Queen music. Absolutely. We can't have Highlander without some Queen music. I mean, that's as important as swords. The first Highlander got an Academy Award for greatest movie ever. It should have. I just remember being a kid and sitting there in the dark watching Highlander and just being totally blown away by it. And like literally that was one of those moments where I'm like, oh my God, I want to be a writer. Like I want to write shit like this. And because this is awesome. Like this was like everything I ever wanted. Guys who are immortal, running around with swords, fighting and chopping each other's heads off. And like it's like they made this movie for me. Yeah. Good old Highlander. I owned a Betamax. I am old. Yeah, man, Betamax. I wish I still owned one. So took me forever to realize that the Kurgan was the evil guard in Shawshank Redemption. Clancy Brown has been in a lot of stuff. He's a great actor. He was like the only thing I enjoyed on the Dexter reboot last year. I did not think that reboot was particularly great. Like it was okay. But I thought Clancy Brown was great in it. And he's just great in everything. You ever see that movie? What is it? Hellbenders or whatever, where they're the priests and he's one of the priests, but they're bad priests. They're like, they sin all the time because that's part of the gig for their stuff. That he was getting that too. I can't remember what that was called though. I walked out of The Last Airbender. Well, I never walked in, but I would have probably walked out of that too. Highlander 2 robbed me of my happiness for the rest of my life. Yeah. We don't talk about a couple movies around here. We don't talk about Halloween 3. We don't talk about The Exorcist 2, and we don't talk about Halloween 2. Or I'm sorry, Highlander 2. So we can talk about Halloween 2. Oh, McLeod. Yeah, Dr. Giggles. It's so funny Dr. Giggles came up tonight because I was just literally thinking about like, I wonder if I should do that. Like, should I do an episode on Dr. Giggles because it's like just sort of niche enough that like it's not a movie people love, but it was a movie of its time that a lot of people saw, but it's not talked about much these days. I thought like maybe that's one of those ones that like people. Like there's something about on the show, if I can find a movie that was popular, but it was video store popular, again, like Video Dead or Demon Wind or something like that, then sometimes those do okay because there's a lot of nostalgia around them. Witch Trap was another one. Those things, Sorority Babes was a huge one. That video did huge. So yeah, I don't know if Dr. Giggles has any appeal, but I was absolutely thinking about it just tonight. So it's funny that it came up. Burning Moon. Holy crap. That was super gory. Yeah. All of Olaf's films are. So, you get to the end of Burning Moon. That last like 20 minutes is just wall to wall. There's no way I can show anything from like the last 20 minutes of that movie. It's just wall to wall carnage. so yeah, I don't think I could do it. I would love to, but there's just no way. What else we got here? Love the bloopers, but understand why you're not using them. Yeah, like sometimes you know, that's YouTube. Like you gotta feed the machine, and sometimes stuff gets cut that I would rather keep, but after we had done so many of them and you would just look at every video's retention graph and you would get to the gore card and then you would get to the barf bags and then you could just watch the retention. Everybody just went like it cliff dived. And it's because everybody's like, oh, this is the end of the video. I'm out. So even though you knew there was, these bloopers coming, people just bailed. And so then and then sometimes those blooper sections were a minute, but sometimes they were like 4 minutes because I fucked up a lot. And they were funny. And so then you just basically have YouTube going like, well, these people didn't stay to the end of the video. They left like 3 minutes early. So that's not a happy signal to us. So we're assuming there's a problem with this video and we're not going to promote it. So, and that's the worst. Well, that's not the worst part of YouTube. There are many worst parts of YouTube, but that is one of the worst parts of YouTube is sometimes that you're you're trying to make decisions that are based on creativity and what you want to do and what's funny and what fits. And then the reality is like, there's also an algorithm and an audience. And sometimes I like things like bloopers that other people were either just not as interested in or didn't know about and didn't stick around for. So yeah, I would love, but like we may try to bring them back. I don't know, for like on Patreon or something like that. I'm just, that's a very early in the process thing. Like, I don't know if it'll work. I don't know if we can do it. We may just do it as a test and kind of see what happens and go with it there. So words are hard, man. I'm a writer, but not a speaker. I can't even read a script. Yeah, there really does need to be a site that's a competitor for YouTube. I know, like I get this all the time, and I'm appreciative of the fact that people are looking out for me and are like, oh, you should go to Rumble or you should go to Odyssey or you should go to whatever the new thing is. And the problem with that is just that you can't, those sites are just not big enough to build an audience on yet. And the pay is just not there. And like, I don't, I've never started the channel to get rich, but the channel costs money. It costs money for equipment and all this stuff to make these videos. And like, I can't go over there and get paid like 0.5 Bitcoin for a month of videos. So first off, I don't even know what that is. So, but second off, that just isn't going to cover, like the costs of making videos, which is, not an exciting thing to talk about, but it's something that I have to factor in all the time because, the videos cost money to make. And so and I know there are tons of people who are like, oh, you're trying to get paid off being creative. And it's like, yeah, it's work. So in the early days, I could have gone over there because I didn't have a big audience and there was no real money involved. But like at this stage, if I went over there, I wouldn't be able to afford to continue to make videos. Like the show makes enough to cover the costs of the videos and get Jay paid and keep me in movies and equipment to keep making them. Like I can't go and make them for free. So those sites, I would love for there to be a site that was competitive with YouTube that actually had, the kind of advertising reach and the audience. I don't know that we'll ever get there though. Like YouTube has just gotten so big and it's so dominant in this space that I don't know how a competitor will make inroads. And I worry all the time that the competitor that's going to make inroads and beat them is TikTok. And that's its own disaster that I don't want to deal with. So yeah. So I don't know. I think we're stuck with YouTube for the time being. So extra video, the best of bloopers. That, man, that's a great idea. The problem with that is it would take us forever to make because outside of the videos that have a blooper reel, I don't have blooper reels for any of the movies that we didn't do a blooper reel for. So it would require going through all those original footage from those videos and finding the bloopers in them and then picking the best. It would be a massive undertaking. If we did like the best of the bloopers you've already seen, that would be a little more manageable, but that would still also take some time. But yeah, I don't know. That would be really hard to do for us. Like it would require, like I've got multiple hard drives of videos at this point because they take up space and we'd have to literally go through all of them. And like some of them now, since I don't do the bloopers, like I'm not quite as animated when I screw up. I just swear a lot. so they were more fun when I knew they were going to go in bloopers. But yeah, now I'm just like, please just let me say these words. Would you ever do a gory animated film? Yeah, I would. I'm not like the biggest anime fan, so it wouldn't maybe not be like one of those films, but like, we were talking about Mad God the other day, like maybe that one, but I don't know. Could the bloopers be shorts? Theoretically, yes. I just don't know a lot about shorts at this point. Like, so to me, like YouTube's big push into shorts is really interesting because I don't have a big desire to make shorts. Like, I think about it all the time, like I should be doing it. And I actually have a show idea for shorts. That's pretty funny. But when Jay and I talk about this, Jay is less of a fan of shorts than I am. Not in the sense that he doesn't like shorts. I probably dislike shorts more than he does. I like long form content. Like, I want to sit down and watch a video. Like, I don't want to sit down and watch 81-minute videos. I want to sit down and watch one 80-minute video more often. But Jay has kind of talked about how, like, he doesn't like that it ends up showing up in your subscription feed and all this stuff. And like, if you don't like shorts, then it's annoying. And so, plus, until just recently, YouTube had this thing where they didn't know how to promote shorts algorithmically. So you would make shorts and they would get into their own sort of algorithmic promotion system, and that would not transfer over to your main channel videos, which they have since fixed. But, yeah. I don't know. We do, but like I said, I have an idea for like a short show, like literally a short show that has a theme and it's kind of like sick flicks. And maybe I'll get around to making it, or maybe not. I don't know. So, but yeah, we could theoretically do bloopers as shorts. I don't know that they would, I don't think they would help the channel is sort of the problem. And a lot of times, like with my schedule, I have to make decisions based on what's going to have the biggest impact for the channel as a whole, because I don't have enough time to make 800 things to try to do it all. So, but maybe. I'm always a maybe. What's up, man? Never miss a premiere. And I can honestly say, if it wasn't for you, I don't think I would have ever got into the whole Italian horror scene. Now I can't get enough. Thanks, Geek. That makes my heart happy. Whenever somebody gets into Italian horror and then they're like, "Oh, you got me into Italian horror," that is like my reason for existing has been fulfilled. I have spent since like the early 90s, late 80s trying to get people to watch Argento and Fulci and all this stuff, and like I've over the 20 years I've been doing this professionally, I have managed to get people into these things. And that is like the coolest thing to me, because I love, like, we don't cover anything that I don't like on the show. Like I could pick movies that I hate and be a real, I'd be funnier because I don't like them. But, generally speaking, we try to pick things that I like, and I legitimately have loved Italian horror for forever. And it's funny to kind of see it catch on in the last 20 years, where like more and more people are finding it and things like that, which makes me happy. But yeah, but like, I'm always happy when people find movies because of me. But if you find Italian horror because of me, that's like extra bonus gold star for you, because that's like my favorite. So thank you. I'm glad I could help. If you ever need more, let me know. Yeah, Abraxas, that's an idea. Yeah, sometimes we could do that. That's a J issue. But yeah. And that's the thing. Like, sometimes that's what it comes down to, is like, can we do it, and how much more work does it make for Jay? How does it work? Does it interrupt the flow of the video? Does it work? Do people like it? Do they not like it? But that's something we could try. I can confirm Mike always thinks the episodes suck for every fucking week, man. Every week I'm like, this is it. I'm done. This is the worst one. I literally just finished a script yesterday, and I'm like, this is terrible. This thing sucks. I'm like, I can't release this. I can't do this. And I'm like, but I just spent 18 hours writing it. Do I make it, or do I just throw away 18 hours of work? So, yeah, I'm convinced every week they suck. Jay gets to hear it every week. He's like my therapist. Oh, yeah. So, yeah. Hang on. Every time I lock onto a comment, it moves. Oh, we got another super chat. Unstoppable KJ. Can you do a review and breakdown of which movies get the most or least? Hell yes, barf bags, bastards. Oh, dude. I I think about this all the time, but like it's we never so all these things have happened not planned. So like hell yeah, I started doing Christ I'm old. I started doing Christ I'm old literally started because it was early when I was here and I felt like I was old on YouTube and I'm talking about things that like the young YouTube audience doesn't get. And so like Christ I'm old was just a way to stop people, like to head them off at the pass before they started going, okay, boomer, not that I'm a Gen Xer, but that was like a way to head them off before we got to that. And so like then it just became a thing, and hell yeah, it just became a thing, and bastard and establishing shots. So I have never, there's no record of where those are in all the videos or anything. Like I don't have a count. I don't have anything. So literally to make that kind of stuff, we would have to go back through 185 videos and look for all the places and tally them or put them into a supercut or whatever. And it's like, it would be a monumental amount of work. So yeah, I think all the time now, like, we should, bloodbath. I can't believe you want money. I know, I'm so greedy. God damn me. I like eating. What can I say? I'm a power lifter. I gotta eat a lot of protein. But yeah, like that would be such a monumental undertaking for us. Like I wouldn't be able to make a new video. Like I would spend 3 weeks having to go through all the old videos to find this stuff instead of making new videos. So yeah, yeah, tough. Yeah, being creative is work, man. This is what kills me is like these people who are pissed. I often think like I'm not one of those guys who's like, oh, if you don't like what I do, you're a hater or you just don't, like I don't ascribe to that philosophy. But there is a lot of people who get pissed off because someone does something that they think is fun or isn't work and makes money from it. And that's because they don't realize how much work it actually is. Like, this is fun to do, but at the end of the day, it's still a job. Like I still have to get up and spend 20 some hours a week scripting. I have to spend hours. We spend time making thumbnails. We spend time going over the edits. We spend time fighting with copyright claims. Like, yeah, it's fun, but it's still a job. And when I 20 years of being a writer and writing for all these places, I love writing, but it's still a job and it's a hard job. Like sometimes like, you go out and you dig a ditch and your back hurts, but I write a script and my brain hurts. So, you go sit there and think it's just a different kind of work. So I wish JMB would sponsor us. That would be so nice. I was going to bring some JMB tonight, I thought, for the Christmas party, and I just wasn't prepared. Ragdoll, I try not to listen to the haters. I'm terrible about this. As you all know, if you come into the comments and say something shitty to me, you're getting a response. It's going to be a snarky one because that's what I'm good at. But I'm really trying very hard to like not waste energy on that now, because it's like a lot of people love the show. A lot of people love what I do, and I'm incredibly grateful for that. And like, not everybody's going to love what you do, and that's fine. And like, some people are just assholes, and like, fine. Why even give them the energy? Right. I wish I could take my own advice, but, yeah, I'm trying. I'm trying not to respond to those things. Linda Day George is coming back, John Blues. She's coming back soon. She's coming back in a big way. Jay knows what I'm talking about. Sometimes though, we just don't get a flick where anyone says bastard in it. It's not quite as ubiquitous as pimp hands or, Christ I'm old bits or pervy innuendos. So, but she's coming back. I swear. What are we talking about Baskin? I love Baskin. I've not done Baskin because it's a little long and I think it would be really hard to do because of the subtitles. That's just a film that I love that does not lend itself to sick flicks particularly well. That is one that like I would love to talk about in a broader way on a different show. Like I don't want to try to go through Baskin and make a bunch of jokes through it because I think it's more interesting than that. And there's like somebody did a video like a couple years ago talking about how it tied into some kind of Turkish folklore or something like that. That was absolutely fascinating, which I did not know. And I would love to talk about like the stuff he talks about in that video and the broader things, because I think that's a really good movie. But yeah, maybe if I get like deep cuts going, which is a big goal. So I'm 47 and still a starving artist. I'm not starving, but that was my primary source of income. I will be. Yeah. I tell this story all the time. Like I have been a professional film critic since 1999. That's when I started writing about movies professionally, movies and video games. And in 1999, I made a lot of money writing on the internet about movies and video games. And then by the time we got to 2015, I was making pennies on the dollar compared to what I made writing about this stuff in 1999. So the internet was great for giving people, creatives, this platform to, you know, bypass traditional publishing, bypass the newspapers, bypass the magazines. You could create Ain't It Cool News or Mr. Cranky's movie reviews or, you know, any of those sites back then. And you could make a lot of money doing it. And then the internet became a race to the bottom, and they didn't want to pay anybody because they want all this content, but they don't want to pay anybody to create it because they think anybody can do it. And yeah, so yeah, you could. I have been there. I have been there starving for the art. Like I'm not even going to tell you how little money I made my last year full-time writing as a film reporter, as a film journalist. It was pitiful. And that was like the point where I was like, well, I'm going to do what all writers do. I'm going to sell out and go work in marketing. And so that was good. But YouTube has been a pleasant surprise because it's way easier, relatively speaking, to make money here. If I had a channel that didn't involve movies and things that YouTube hates, like gore, like I could clean up over here. Like you could I know guys who make videos in other categories who just rake in money. So yeah, so it's nice because you can do that and you can do your art here, and there's still a little bit of business to it. But yes, I have been there with the starving artist thing, and it's unfortunate that we think artists should starve. So I wish we didn't think that way. I have not done the original The Crazies. Yeah, it's on the list. So this is the thing. Like I said, I get out 50 videos a year. So that's 52 movies a year. The list of movies is literally thousands. I could do this show for 30 years. I'll be dead before I get to the end of the list. So I will try to get to it. Legend of the Overfiend. Can you imagine what YouTube would do if I tried to cover that movie? Could you even imagine? It wouldn't even get uploaded. Oh, goodness. No interest in shorts. Yeah. See, this is it. Like, I think shorts really appeal to the kids. And one thing about this channel that's always fascinating to me is like I'm old and the channel skews pretty old. Our audience demographics, like not old, like ancient, but like I do not get a ton of viewers in that 13 to 17 range, and not a lot even in the 18 to 24, but I get a whole shit ton in like 45 to 54, like my age group. So yeah, so that's another part of it is like, you go like, sure, would I like to get more kids to watch my channel? Yeah. But to do like, I don't know that even if I made shorts that appealed to them, that they would be interested in the actual videos I make, because they're older movies. The jokes are aimed at older audiences. And so, yeah, so I have never gotten shorts either, because every time someone shows me something on TikTok, it's some dipshit like lip syncing or doing a terrible dance, and I'm like, why the fuck would I watch this? This is dumb. So, but I think like the shorts, like if you found a way, and this is what people are doing, and I don't pay attention to it, but like if you found a way to do shorts and you made it a show that ran for like 60 seconds, where you did something like sick flicks in 60 seconds, that would be different. But I don't know if people would watch it or not. But I got nothing but time, so I might try it. I hope you'll check it out if I do. I have not done any old Hammer films yet, Ragdoll. Yeah, that's a glaring omission. There are a lot of glaring omissions on the channel because I skew so heavily Italian. But yeah, we haven't done any Hammer. I haven't done any Paul Naschy werewolf movies or anything like that. So those are all things that I hope to get to at some point. Like I said, like I love Devil Rides Out. I would love to do that. It's also too old. It won't do well, but I'd love to do it anyway. So any chance to do Hammer films and old school gore? Like I said, it's not that I don't want to do them. It's just that the audience is not often there for those videos. But so Backrooms, is that viral thing with with all those weird rooms? I saw some of that a while back. Maybe is better than no. It is. Although everyone here tells me if I say maybe, it means no. Yeah, Batman. That's how I kind of look at shorts. Like you could do them, if you could do them as like a promotional thing. Like if I did them, it would be like to target a different audience than what we get with the videos, to kind of bring in some more people. But I don't know. Like they're attractive to me because they're short, so it would be relatively easy to make them. In terms of like I wouldn't have to spend 20 hours on it, but yeah, I don't know. Shorts are, I feel like I'm too old to understand the allure of shorts. Murder Rock. Oh, Murder Rock is coming next year. So Melissa, thank you. I don't know if I'm an inspiration, but I'm flattered you think so. Long live Matei's Rats, Knights of Terror. Yes. Yeah, me and Jay from RLM, I do think we'd get along. That's a guy I'd like to hang out with, shoot the shit with. I just don't get. I'm terrible about collaborating, and they're way bigger than me anyway. But yeah. What have we got down here? I lost my place. We got more chats here. Super chats. Let me find where I am. Oh, disinterested. Yeah. So that. Do we want to open up the established titles can of worms? So funny story. We were set to do one when that broke. I'd actually filmed it, and the spot, we'd agreed to it like a month before any of that stuff had come out. I will tell you straight up, it's not a scam. It's a novelty gift. Like if you fucking think for a second that you're actually becoming a lord in Scotland because you paid $50 to buy a 1 by 1 foot piece of land, I don't know what to tell you. Like, but the idea that this is some crazy scam when they have literally spelled out it's a novelty gift, and that we have been paying for years. Other companies have done this. You can literally buy a star and have it named after you. Do you think scientists are going around calling the star like the Mike Bracken star? No. Like, yeah. So we didn't do the spot. They canceled the spot. I did tell them I had concerns with everything going on, that I didn't feel comfortable with it. And if they were going to force me to do it, we'd do it. But if not, we wanted to get out of it. But at the same time, it was much ado about nothing. Like just absolute, and they're going to sue that guy, and they're going to win because they're not doing anything that hasn't been done forever. When you get the brief from them, what they want you to talk about, it legally covers all of this stuff, that it's a novelty gift, that you can call yourself a lord, whatever. It's not applicable to passports and things like that. Like, it's all spelled out. It's just some, like, I'm not, fuck it. I'm not, I got nothing else to say about it. It pissed me off because it's just one of those things where, like, this is just somebody being a dick to be a dick. Like, fuck. It's a 1 by 1 foot piece of land in Scotland. What are you going to do? You going to go visit your homestead? You going to go build a fucking cabin on your 1 by 1 foot piece of land? I mean, it's obviously a novelty gift. And like the fact that we have to have videos and a big debate about how this is some scam and how we're ripping people off. It's just so mind-bogglingly stupid to me that I can't help it. And if you feel differently, that's totally your right. But at the end of the day, much ado about nothing. And if they came back to me and asked me to do it, I'd probably do it because I'm Scottish, A, and B, it's a novelty gift. And if you want to buy a novelty gift and have a little plaque that says you're a lord in Scotland, great. If you don't want to buy one, also great. But that's all I got to say about that. Sorry, I mean to get off on a rant there. That was a sore spot for me when it came up, because it was so obviously something designed to get that guy a bunch of clicks and attention, and yeah. So wasn't a fan. Cinecrypt, I have not done Life Force, and you know why. Fuck, Matilda May's naked in half that movie. How am I gonna do that? I'd love to do it, but can you imagine the amount of black bars we'd have to slap in that video? Jade quit. Jade just quit. You'd be like, I'm done, Mike. I'm not doing this anymore. There's too many bars, man. I love it, but I would not get it past. Like, the amount of editing we would have to do would be insane. Nerd Musk, no, it does not. The reason why Patreon doesn't have those is because there are multiple reasons. The first reason is we'd have to make multiple cuts of the video. We'd have to make a cut with the gore in, and then we'd have to go back and make a cut with the gore out. And what happens is now is, like, I'm so used to, like, we're not allowed to show this stuff that I write the scripts in a way so that we don't even put the gore in, so that it's not there. So it would be a whole second edit. And the other issue with that was we'd have to upload it to YouTube. Now we wouldn't, although I think the Patreon time limit on videos is like 10 minutes. So I wouldn't be able to get a full episode up there anyway. So, yeah, it's a lot of effort to do that and again, the Patreon, I love Patreon. I love that you guys are there, but we'd be making that video for 240 people to watch. Like, and that's another huge time and money investment to make a video that hardly anyone is going to ever see, because it's on Patreon and we don't have 72,000 patrons. We have 240. Whereas if we put it on YouTube, we get 72,000 potential people plus the other billions. So we've never done that. And I just don't think it will work because of the amount of work involved in making 2 different cuts, and the way the show is written now, it's just written to make the one that we can get out. So yeah, maybe though. I'll give you another maybe. Jay will quit. Jay's not going to want to do that. And I understand, because it's a pain in the ass. This is one of those things like where I just wish there was a site that paid where we could just release this stuff, because none of it's, that bad. So Spooky Celluloid, how you doing, man? Thanks for coming by. Yeah, at some point, I've been slacking on the Japanese stuff, man. This is one of those things where you kind of find out, like, sometimes for us, I love that stuff and I want to do it, but like, it's hard because of the subtitles and all that in the editing. So but yeah, I would like to do more of that next year, hopefully. Because we haven't done anything since Bloody Muscle Bodybuilder, so we're due. Merch drop when the 5th of never. Not because I don't want to do it, because I don't have time. Yeah, we gotta get some, like, I'd like to get some, like, at least some Danny Hell Yeah stuff for you guys at some point, but yeah, I don't know. Like I've said before, we started the merch thing like a year ago. I hired an artist. She did some design sketches and stuff like that, and then she sent them to me, and I was like, oh, these are good, but we need to make some edits to them, and it took me a long time to get to the edits because I was busy. And then we did make the edits and we sent them back, and she just basically ghosted. And so we're like back to square one with that, like just total start over with that process. Um, so, and I gotta be honest, man, I'm always like afraid of merch because I hear so many guys who are like, oh, my audience was like, oh, we want merch, we want merch, we want merch. And so I spent money to get designs done and I set it all up, and then nobody buys any of it. And like, I don't care if you don't buy it. You can buy it or not. If it's what you want and we have what you want, and great. If not, great. It's the time commitment to make it, to then not sell it, is time that I can use to make videos or something that actually, moves the channel. But yeah, I've definitely we gotta get some Hell Yeah Danny stuff at the very least. I mean, I was so bummed because, who was it? Fright Rags did the Linda Day George Bastard shirt. And I was like, that should have been us. So I'm like, are they watching my channel? Yeah. What do we got here? With such a schedule here. No, I've been on vacation, man. We could, so that's one of my goals for next year with like kind of getting ahead. Like, part of the problem has been, we make a video and we're like one or so ahead, and I'm like scripted 6 ahead, but like as far as editing and filming, we're like usually like 1 ahead. And so like when something this week happens where Don't Open Till Christmas gets blocked, I didn't even have another video to replace it with. We had to actually, I had to shoot a whole nother video in the middle of the week. And then Jay had to rush through the edit in case we didn't get Don't Open Till Christmas back. And, so my hope is that if we get to next year and I'm like able to get ahead 5 or 6 videos, then yes, I could take a week off if I would like to, or work on something else, or get my book back to my agent, or any of those type of things. But until we get that, like, that cushion again, it's like very much every week is like, gotta get a video, gotta get a video, gotta get a video. So and it's fine. Like, I like to work. I mean, I don't like to work, but I like this. So doing this is not something that I ever go, oh God, I have to make another video this week. Damn, my life is so terrible. I actually like it. So it's not the end of the world. Plus I don't care to travel that much. I'm a recluse. I stay in the house. Robotics. I do have an Amazon list. You know what actually helps the most is we have affiliate links in every video in the description, and it's a link to go buy the movie on Amazon. But what I think a lot of people don't understand about affiliate links is you can use that link and you don't have to buy the movie. You can use the link to go to Amazon and then buy whatever you're going to buy on Amazon, and we get an affiliate commission on that for sending you there. So like, you could click my link for Sorority Babes and the Slime Ball Bolorama and go there and buy like your protein bars and a diamond ring and a computer and headlights for your car, and that gets credited to the channel. So it helps the channel. Like, it's like, pennies on the dollar, but it all adds up. But so yeah, so we do have those links, which help a lot. And then, yeah, I have never made the wish list public. I could make a list of movies if people wanted to send them or something like that. But I've never felt like, I don't know, I always feel weird doing that. Like, you know, I have a hard time even with Patreon because I'm like, oh, Patreon is like asking people to pay for the show. And it's like, I just want you to watch the show and you see a few ads and it pays for the show. Unfortunately, it doesn't. And I'm incredibly grateful that people want to support what I do beyond watching the videos. But yeah, I've never done the wish list because I always just feel like, oh, I don't need people to buy me a bunch of movies. So, but I may next year. Who knows? But yes, but like a big help would be absolutely if you buy a lot of shit on Amazon, before you go over there, just come to one of my videos and click the link and then go buy whatever you want. And, you know, we can make a couple bucks and, you know, it's never, I got to tell you, like if you buy Sorority Babes, I make like 30 cents. So, but you know, you could go like somebody went over through one the other day and bought like a watch. And so we made a couple bucks and it's great. And it doesn't cost you any more money. The Amazon doesn't charge you more because you're coming through the affiliate link. It's just a few bucks for the channel because we sent you over there. And so, yeah, you buy stuff on Amazon, you want to help out. That's another way you can help out. All right. What do we got here? 15 going on 43. I'm 50 going on 12. Yes, Gen X does rule. We're the greatest generation. Galloway, you should commission courtroom sketches for the more extreme gore scenes. That's funny because I have never thought about doing that. But what we did talk about doing, I don't know if Matthew Harney's still here. He does these fantastic stop motion animation videos with action figures. And I'm like, ooh, we could do a Serbian film, but we could use action figures for the objectionable scenes, right? And then that was a great idea, except we never did it because I went, oh shit. The hard part is like that film has subtitles. And if we cut away from the movie to act out the scene with action figures, how am I going to get I'm going to have to type all the subtitles in manually, and that's going to suck. So, as you may see, a lot of my life revolves around avoiding doing things that suck. So you will always find me trying to avoid anything that is not fun because I am like 12. 57. You're older than me. Yeah, shorts is absolutely YouTube's knee-jerk reaction to TikTok. Like it's so funny to me because like I see now we've got YouTube wants to do shorts and TikTok wants to do not vertical video, longer form stuff. And it's like, well, you're just trying to be each other. Like, why not just be what you're good at and leave it alone? So, I don't know. This is why they don't pay me the big bucks. My wife and I dearly love your channel. She would love to see your take on Rawhead Rex. I would love to do Rawhead Rex. We were going to do it. And then what happened was Wolfula did it. And he did it like 8 years ago, right? Dr. Wolfula. Great YouTuber. And he got a copyright strike like 8 years later on it. Like right as I was like putting it into the rotation for a future episode. And then they like, because he got a copyright strike over it, he hit 100,000 and they didn't want to give him his plaque. And so that was kind of the, like, I guess I can't do this because if somebody's out there striking 8-year-old videos on it, then they're going to nail me as soon as I upload it. So that's kind of put me off doing it. I don't know if we'll ever do it now because of that. I dig that movie because it's so ridiculous and I would love to make jokes about it, but the copyright strike thing is rough. That's like the worst of the worst on YouTube. You get a strike and man, you're in trouble. All right. Len Hodge, $5. Thank you. Keep it up. I will try. Oh, look at that. He's even doing some curls. I like it. It's a good one. Thank you. So you're saying there's a chance? I'm always saying there's a chance. Always saying there's a chance. Aw, thank you. MST3K and Horror Geek are my YouTube faves. I'm incredibly flattered to even be mentioned in the same breath as those guys. Like, They're so good. They've been doing it so long and just like crazy. You're talking about YouTube shorts. I am old, man. I don't get shorts. I'm old. I acknowledge it. I clearly do not understand corporate greed. You're never going to be mindless greed. You're never going to be a corporate executive. True. And I am incredibly grateful that I will never be a corporate executive, because let me tell you, working in marketing for all these years, I hate going to meetings. I hate all of that. The worst, like the more responsibility a job has, the less I want it. So, oh, it's too funny. Yeah, there's absolutely no chance of me ever being a corporate executive, which is so funny because that's like when I went to college. When I first went, I wanted to be a stockbroker. I was going to be a finance major. I wanted to be a stockbroker. And then I got like a semester in and I'm like, God, this is boring. So I'm not good with anything that's boring. Like I'm one of those guys that like, if I get bored, trouble's going to happen. Oh, we got some more super chats down here. I'm sorry, I'm behind. Gretchen, Goth, Barbie, 3000. Honey, you got a lot of names. Folks made such a big deal about, and yeah, the established titles. I would go from, yeah, like, yeah, that whole thing, man. I'm not gonna go off on another rant about it. I promise, but I just like that. To me, that was like such a goofy fucking thing to get all everybody worked up about. Like I don't know what you thought you were getting. Like, and like then someone was like, well, they say they plant a tree, and it's like, well, they do plant a tree. They say they make a donation to organizations who plant trees, and they could show that they had planted trees. And then, but because some people just can't fucking read, I guess there were a lot of people who thought, but they don't plant a tree on my 1 by 1 foot piece of land. Well, no fucking shit. It's 1 by 1 foot. Are they going to plant trees every 1 foot? They're going to like kill each other. So yeah, I'm not going to revisit that, but yeah, it was just like the goofiest, like the internet just being pissed about nothing, which is what the internet is great at. But yes, nice fan. That is a Dennis Miller reference. I'm always good for that one. I used to love Dennis Miller back in the day. Let's see. Hope I bought 8 1 by 1 plots of land. I purchased the air rights. That's it, right? Yeah, that's it. Can I buy 100 of them and build a house on it? Probably not. I love a good internet drama. Don't get me wrong, but that one was just like such a ridiculous one. And I said, like, I hope they sue the shit out of that guy. And I know they're talking about it, and I hope they do. 10-minute videos. Yeah, I do remember when 10-minute videos were the limit, which is why I didn't make YouTube videos back then. There was no chance I could make a video under 10 minutes anymore. Oh, man. Yeah, there'd be a lot of hell yes in Life Force. That's absolutely correct. Jack S. Yes, YouTube does hate boobs. It's a commonly known thing. They absolutely despise breasts. I don't know why. Uncensored would be tops. Let me show. Jay's trying to get me banned for my live stream with the comments. Yeah, I mean, we have joked about this. Like I have joked many times that I would have taken the show to P-Hub if they, had a good revenue split, but I don't think they do. And I don't think we do that well over there, but like I would have tried it just so I could show what I wanted. Spooky. You got to see Bloody Muscle because of me? Oh, that's fucking awesome. I really, really like that movie. Like I had seen it on
VHS on a crappy dub, and I don't even think it was the whole version back in the day, and it didn't have subtitles or anything, and it was nuts, and I never expected to see it again. And for them to put it out on Blu-ray just was like, oh my God, we have to do this. Like, this has to happen. And it shot up, like, that came out and it shot up over everything that was ahead of it on the list. Cause I'm like, we have to do this now. We have to get ahead before everybody else finds it and starts talking about it. And, so I'm glad you found it, man. That's awesome. I love it. It's such a cool, goofy little movie. Like, like I'm a sucker for those like little indie films, again, like Evil Dead, where they like the guy is just making it because he's just driven to make this movie, and he has no money, but he's creative and he's got a vision and he just wants to do it. And like, yeah, it's not like a pristine looking Hollywood film, but it's amazing for what it is. And I love little movies like that. And when I find them and can like help other people find them, that's like the best feeling. It was super cool because the director actually, wrote me a comment, he retweeted it and was talking to me about the movie. And I'm like, I want another one. And he's like, well, I got to work on it. So maybe we'll get another one. Who knows? I would love that though. Takashi Miike is the man. That guy is like a fucking film industry all unto himself. I don't know how he managed to find enough hours to work, like to get all that stuff done. Are we talking about the new Piranha movies? Those would, after I did the first one, I thought about doing the remakes, but they're Lionsgate. I get so tired of saying that too. Like, it's such a downer all the time to go like, oh yeah, I wanted to do that, but it's Lionsgate. See what else we got over here. Hey, transmission 2:50 a.m. here in Scotland. That's late. Nick, merch is overrated. Yeah, I don't think it's overrated. I think it's just like, I think it's overrated in the sense that people assume that it's going to do more for your channel than it does. Like everyone I've talked to about merch, and I've talked to big channels and little channels, and it's always been like, we spend a lot of money and time to come up with designs and do it. And we sell some, but like, it's not, we spent more to make it than it makes. And like, there's a part of me that like, I don't care about that. Like if we can make something cool and it's cool and I have it, that's great. I would do it. I just don't want to spend a bunch of time on it when I have limited time, when it takes me away from making videos. Like at the end of the day, nobody's coming to me for merch. You come to me for the videos. And like, if we have time to do the merch and that's part of it and it's an extra, that's great. But if it takes away from me making videos, then it's not good for you and it's not good for me. Like, would you rather have a video, or would you rather have me come and go, well, like, no video this week because I'm working on merch? So I think most people would go, I'd rather have the video. So that's just been kind of why it keeps getting shoved to the back burner. Because I'd really love to do it. Like, I think like, hell yeah, Danny stuff, shirts, stickers, shit like that is great. And I'd love to have it. I'd love to have it just for me, even if nobody else bought it. But like, it all takes time to like get someone to do the designs and then to go through it with them and say, this is right, or this isn't right. And then I got to find somebody to make it. And it just becomes like a lot of hours that I'm spending on it that, could go to something else. Now I would love to have a channel big enough that I could hire someone to do that for me. I'm not there yet, but if we have a good year, sure, I would absolutely hire someone to do that. But it's just like, if it's me, it's like a lot of hours that I could be making videos, and that's just a better use of time, I guess. I think. Yeah, Lance Henriksen. All right. What else have we got? Oh, I got a super chat. Andrew, thank you for the super sticker, man. Happy holidays. I have missed so many chats. I'm so sorry, guys. Hi, it's Wilson Games. You should put a link in every video. What a link to what, Barrett? EQs, you didn't miss anything. You just missed me fucking blabbing. No, you haven't missed anything of importance. Oh, yeah. Yes, Fright Rag should be paying me royalties. It's a cool shirt. I was not a fan of the design, particularly like the color of it, but yeah. Yeah, YouTube Premium, Paris, is I tell people all the time, like I don't know, like if you watch a lot of YouTube Premium is pretty great because you can skip the ads and all that stuff. And like I watch a ton of YouTube. Like I watch more YouTube than TV. Just because like it's just fun to sit there and like you just go down rabbit holes on YouTube all the time. So for me, yeah, premium is totally worth it because like I don't feel bad because I'm skipping people's ads. Like I know they're still getting paid. I'm still watching their stuff. It's a better experience for me. So yeah, I get like if you're like just someone who pops onto YouTube for the couple of shows you like or for, watch a couple videos a week, then yeah, maybe you probably don't want to pay for a subscription to YouTube. But like if you're one of those people who's like these younger kids or like me who watches YouTube like hours at a time, then it's totally worth it. Thanks, Zombie7979. Yeah, Wolfula is good. You know what's funny, Jay, is Wolfula lives, I swear he lives in like Central Florida. So he's probably like an hour and a half away from me. But he and I have never, I don't think we've ever spoken, which I don't know why, because I like him. I leave him comments sometimes. But someone, actually, it's funny. Someone bitched at me because I called him Wolfie. And they're like, we don't call him that. And I'm like, well, I don't care. But he wasn't mad about it. But some of his fan base got all pissed off at me because I called him Wolfie. But so maybe he's holding a grudge and I just don't know. I don't think so. I think the guy's funny. I love his shtick. So. All right. Yeah, Paris. That's me. So this goes back to what I don't like about shorts is like I don't want 60-second videos. Like if I sit down to watch videos, I want you to give me the deep dive. Like I want you to give me some watch. Shorts like those 1-minute videos to me are just like they're not engaging enough. And like I will sit down and watch like a 3-hour video of just two meatheads like, Dave Tate and Alex Bromley talking about powerlifting just for 3 hours. And I will watch that whole thing. And I would much rather watch that than watch like 361-minute videos. So, but that's just me. All right. Hey, Rob Scott, how you doing? Happy holidays to you. What's your opinion of The Hidden? I think it's yeah, dude, The Hidden is fucking classic. And we have talked about doing that one 100 times in the past year. Actually, I was talking with my buddy Walter because he loves it too. And we were like, yeah, I should do The Hidden. And I just haven't bought a copy of it yet. I actually own it on DVD, but I want to upgrade to Blu-ray to do it for the show. So yeah, hopefully, next year. Like I'm literally doing 2023 planning right now for the show. Like we already have some videos scripted for most of January and then some of these, hopefully getting some of these extra videos in. So yeah, I'm hoping because I love that movie. Very underrated film. I don't get what football practice actually means, but honestly, I don't care either. So in Shocker, he wakes up and it's like a tie-in to like if you wake up and you were having an embarrassing wet dream and then you're like football practice, like, you know, like to hide it, like I got to get to football practice type thing. So, but yeah, you don't have to understand. It's just so dumb and random that it's just funny on its own. So I saw the devil was a revelation. Yeah, that's one I always wanted to do, but it's so fucking long. So Nick, you seem to be normal to be from Florida. I am. I'm not from Florida. I just live here. So I was not born here. I think that's what precludes me from being Florida man, is that I came from somewhere else. Marla, thank you. Heads exploding shorts. And I did that exploding heads video way back in the day, and that was a good video, and they age gated that one too. Yeah, they're just like, this is the funny thing. Like, part of the strategy for YouTube is like, oh, you create evergreen content, like, and so these videos will, you know, still be getting views like 3, 4, 5 years from now, and they still generate revenue for your channel over time. Except that all mine, they go 3 years, 2 years later, they go, oh, this is not acceptable now, so we're not going to monetize it anymore. So I'm constantly like treading water with the same like 50 videos making money instead of 300. So, oh yeah, I gotta quit. I gotta quit bitching about YouTube so much. Premutos is probably the most gory flick I've ever seen. Yeah, it's pretty up there. all of Olaf's films are like that. I would, yeah, I don't know. Is Black Past or Burning Moon gorier than Premutos? Like, I think like both of those have like that crazy last 20 minutes, which is pretty extreme, but Premutos is pretty extreme too. Olaf is one of those guys, like, you don't go to him for a good movie, but if you go to him for the splatter, you're going to be okay. So, right. Are we talking about Jake the Snake in here? Can you do a video with Brandon? I would love to do a video with Brandon. I would love to work with a lot of people. And so it's funny today because I was talking to Pizow, and I said, oh, dude, we should do something together in 2023. And he's like, yeah, we should. And he's like, what, you got anything in mind? And I'm like, nope, because I'm terrible at this. So I'm good at, like, we should do something together, but I don't know what it is. Just tell me where to show up and what I need to do, and I'll make it happen. But beyond that, I'm just terrible at like making those things work. But, yeah. I would love Brandon and I think would be really fun because we have like a very like in sync style with each other, and yeah, he's a funny guy. I like him a lot. So yeah. Where am I in Florida? I'm north of Tampa. I live on the West Coast. So right near the Gulf. Right here in we call it America's Wang. Nothing better than watching this at work to kill time. That's damn right, Joseph. I commend you for these decisions you're making. Like, you should be at work. You should be having fun. Get paid to watch this. Oh, Stanley, me and Dead Meat. Dude, James is like an entity unto himself. Like, dude's got like 6 million subs. I don't think he's really dying to work with me. I mean, although he's very nice to me. Like, he and I talked a bit when I was starting the channel, because I was just kind of curious, like what I was in for with copyright and all that. And so I reached out to him. He only had like a million subs at that point, and we talked, and he occasionally talks to me on Twitter. But yeah, yeah, he's great. I'd love to do something with him, but yeah, I'm like so small compared to him. Brandon is a good Canadian kid. Stick on the ice. That's true. Yeah, those Necrostorm films are really good for the gore. So that was another series we had slated to do back in the day that YouTube lost their fucking minds and I couldn't do. Yeah. I actually bought all of that stuff to do those videos, and then it's like, oh, we can't do these. Yeah, Adam Chaplin. What were the other ones? Like, was it Tater City or yeah. Donald, I don't have a card, but I have a fully functional life-sized Crow and Servo. So I have always been like, we need to put Crow and Servo on the set, and it just never happens. But one of these days. Blood, I don't think Dead Meat is overrated. I think he's just super successful, and I think he's great at what he does, and he appeals to a different audience than I do. I like James. I think he's really good at what he does, and I never begrudge him his success because I know how hard he's worked to get where he is. But yeah, I mean, I get it. When you get that big, everybody's kind of like, oh, he sucks or he's overrated or it's not as good as it used to be or whatever. But I like the guy. I think he's good. I watch all his videos. I'm in awe of his studio. Did you guys see his, like, when he redid his studio a couple months ago, and he basically walked through the whole thing, and it's like he had to spend like $500,000 on his studio, I bet. And I was like just watching it, just going like, fuck, why can't I have that? Claimed by Toho is Brandon's version of my claimed by Lionsgate or Greater Fool Media. Like he is, I am thankful to Brandon for making it clear to me that I should never do a Toho film. Oh, Deadbeat at Dawn. So yeah, I own it. I love it. That's one that just got punted. Like it was on the list. I was ready to do it. And then something came up and it just got bumped and I've never gotten back to it. But as a fan of Jim Van Bebber, I would love to do it. I would love to do Manson Family too. And it's funny because I made a video. Well, I didn't finish. I started making a video a year or two ago about another list movie that was 5 films inspired by horrific true life crimes and the catch was it was not all the usual bullshit everybody on YouTube talks about. So it wasn't like the Amityville Horror, it wasn't Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It was like My Sweet Satan and Ricky Six about Ricky Casso and Schoolgirl in Concrete and so it was stuff that you would expect from me and a guy like Spooky Celluloid, like guys who are really into messed up movies and are knowledgeable and like off the beaten path stuff. It's like exactly the kind of video he would have made too, or Spooky Rice as well would make the same kind of thing. And I just never finished it, but yeah, I'm a big Jim Van Bebber fan. I would love to, talk about My Sweet Satan and all of that. So, yes, I enjoy the Cinema Snob. Brad and I have been friends for like 15 years. We've never met in person, but we've been friends like right before he started his channel and long before I started mine. Yeah, Brad and I have talked for forever. So yeah, I love Brad. Cinema Snob was like, yeah, he's got such a good gimmick. That whole gimmick is like, I never get tired of watching him, sit in the chair and be highbrow about Caligula. Brain Damage would be awesome. Yes. Yeah. And I just need to just turn the programming over to you guys. You guys have some good picks. And then I go and it's so funny too, because every time you guys suggest something, it's like something I have on my list or I've almost done it. And then for some reason I just don't. And then I go oh, so yeah, you should have done it. Yeah, I don't know if Brad is putting out as much stuff. I haven't talked to him in a while, but yeah. He's made so many videos. Like, dude, that dude's been here forever. which is just wild to me that like when you go back and look at some of his original videos, they're like shot on look like they're shot on a flip phone at like 360p. Yeah. What about Ebola syndrome, BL? Yeah, Tracy, I've never got to meet him, but he and I talk fairly regularly, and we've talked a lot over the years, and just a really a good dude, good dude. I'm a big fan. That's what's funny. Like, I know everybody likes all the YouTuber drama and shit, but like, A, I'm 50. I don't have time for fucking YouTube drama. And B, I really just like most of the guys make content in this space. I like what they do. Like it's not always what I did or do, but I like all the different takes on this stuff. Are there some channels that I like less? Yes, but like a lot of the guys doing this stuff, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of what they do. So, and Brad is like definitely one of the first. Like he was around long before me. So, and I've just always liked his videos. The first time I saw that gimmick, I was like, oh, this is fucking brilliant. Like just perfect. Like so easy to just sit in a chair with the posters and just be, and he's just got he's got a great delivery. Like he just does that voice and the delivery so well. Like mine is so like ridiculously overdone on purpose. His is just understated enough that you're like if you didn't know he was Brad and you just wandered into one of those videos for the first time, you'd be like, I'm not sure if he's really serious or if this is a character. So so that's what cracks me up about him. Steven, yeah. So we did Cannibal, Mary and Dora, and I really just wanted to do all of them, but I even splurged for the Angels Melancholy Blu-ray, the limited edition that cost me a small fortune because I was gonna do it, and YouTube was like, no, you're not. Start drama with me so I can get your clout. Dude, I don't have any clout. Yeah. I don't know. Internet drama is inherently silly to me because like, I don't know, it's a bunch of guys on keyboards. It's like if you're not like, if you're going to have drama with me, come have drama with me to my face and like, we'll see where that goes. But like, I don't understand the point of just typing nasty things to each other all day. And I don't get it. Why do you hate the B-52s and why are you wrong? God, I hate the fucking B-52s. But, to be fair, I hate everybody from Athens and that I hate REM too. I've never liked the B-52s. I don't know why. I just don't. I've never liked them. Although I dislike REM more. Yeah, you do get a chuckle out of me from time to time, more than time to time. Oh, you guys, like, this is the funny thing. Like, everybody's like, oh, don't read your comments. And I read mine, and you guys are funny. Like, there's so many times where you guys comment with something. I'm like, shit, I wish I had thought of that. Oh, yeah. Angel's Melancholy is pretty extreme. 2 hours of grotesque insane. I think the version I got is the 2.5 hour version of extreme insanity. So yeah. Oh yeah, dude. I violent shit is another one. Like, yeah, I've seen them. They're not gonna let me do them though. Like I wish, but yeah. Talking Heads were cool. I do like the Talking Heads a lot more than REM and the B-52s. Oh yeah, I love Blood Diner. That's one we need to do. Definitely need to do that. So Rock Lobster. God damn it. Oh, Blood Diner +1. You guys are gonna make me do Blood Diner, aren't you? I think the same thing when my brother is rage typing. Yeah, like I, yeah, I don't. I mean, look, I'm old. I've been on the internet for a long time, and I've certainly engaged in my share of flame wars in my misspent youth and internet beef. But yeah, at this point in my life, I just do my best to stay out of it. Like I try not to know what everybody's fighting about on YouTube. Like I did see yesterday there was some kind of horror YouTube drama going on with a smaller channel, and I'm like, I don't even want to know this. So like the fact that I have to know this is like I don't want to know. Like I'm just here to make videos, and if you like them, great, and if you don't like them, also okay. Uh, but yeah, I'm not looking to have like a big flame war about who sucks and who doesn't and all of that. So yeah. Jay and Mike collaborate. We collaborate every week. I'm not allowed on the Bloodbath channel. I'm banned. Jay doesn't want me there. I'm too old for Jay's audience. Like old enough to be Jay's dad. What are we? We watched a movie. Yeah, right? Oh man. I respect your hip hop credentials. Well, thank you. My hip hop credentials are legit. So, I mean, they're more legit than I talk about on the show. So, like, I know a lot of rappers, like a lot of famous rappers. So, from my misspent youth. But yeah, I love the hip hop. Like, there's a lot of deeper references I don't make. So, oh man. Yeah, this is the thing. Like Jay's right. Like I'm not good at the collab thing, and like not because I'm like opposed to doing it. I'm just like terrible about like. So I get asked to do collabs. I get asked to be on podcasts. I get asked to do things, and I am like I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm an extreme introvert. Like I come on here and it's like 3 hours of me talking, and then I am like, I have to go be an introvert for like 3 days after I do this. Like I can't talk to anybody or anything because it's like a lot of people interaction for me. And I like people, but I just like I'm an introvert. I like to be quiet. I like to be by myself. And do that kind of thing. And so like people ask me to do things like come on a podcast, and I was like, yeah, that's awesome. Let's do it. Let's set a date and make it happen. And then they set a date. And then as the date gets closer, I sit around going, oh God, I have to do that podcast. Why did I agree to do that? Why did I say I would do that? And then I go and I have fun, but a lot of times I go like we get to the date and I'm like, oh, I can't do it. Can't do it. So like actually getting me onto a show is like, look, I haven't been live since July, and it's not because I didn't want to be live. I had plans to be live in October, but then I got sick, and yeah, like so, yeah, I'm not good at scheduling things with people or any of that. So my JR is getting better. All right, that's what I like to hear. By God. Oh, you ever check out John Joe? No. Should I? John Joe Lions. I don't know that. I don't know that one. Is there a good Christmas themed horror that you know of? I mean, you mean Beyond Black Christmas? That'd be my pick. Yeah, Robotrix. So I was gonna do Danzig's Veronica, when it came out, and then like a lot of people did it and like didn't get much traction on it, so I kind of wimped out. Like I was like, oh shit, like people are apparently not that interested in it. But then I think like, oh well, shit, if I'd have done it my way, it would have probably been more interesting. Yes, my ego is that big that I would say that. But yeah, I I would like to do it. Plus I have like sort of some funny Danzig stories about what a dipshit he is, because when he ran the Veronica comic imprint, he stiffed a bunch of my horror author friends. And like there are pictures of bounce checks from Danzig and shit like that that I have floating around on hard drives somewhere from when he just like printed work that he didn't pay for and all this stuff. So I don't know if he ever paid. Like Brian Hodge was one of those guys who he owed money to, that I don't know if he ever even got his money. But yeah, I would like to do that movie. I still haven't seen it because I heard it was so bad. What do we got here? The Ghetto Boys. I love the Ghetto Boys. All right, what do we got there? Oh, come on. Happy holidays, Mike, and I wish you many happy returns of the day for your birthday. Thanks, Flustred. My birthday's in October. But we were supposed to live stream for that, and then we were gonna do it for that, and then something came up. I don't remember what it was. And then I was gonna do it the next week, and I had to be somewhere, and then we were gonna like, oh, well, we'll just do it right after Halloween, and I got sick. Like I caught a cold, like my first cold in like 3 years, and man, it sucked. Veronica is one of the worst movies ever. I have heard that. I have definitely heard that. Yeah, Danzig is a funny dude. I give you that. He man, like yeah, back it was like it must have been like the late 90s, and he just stiffed a bunch of dudes. Like I think Ed Lee got paid, but I know like Hodge and a bunch of other guys I knew who were horror writers did not. And so I always think about anytime somebody mentions Danzig, I think about the pictures of bounce checks. Merry Christmas, Anita. Thanks for coming by. Oh, yours is Halloween? Awesome. I was lucky enough to be born in October, but not lucky enough to be born on Halloween. Yeah, Veronica is in the discussion for worst movie ever. Like a lot of people have lumped it in there. Oh yeah, Manny. There are worse movies than Things. Like I find Things oddly charming in its ineptitude. So there are movies that are just worse that are don't even have the charm of ineptitude going for them. So yeah. Father, please clear my checks. Oh fuck. Yeah, good old Danzig. Boy. Yeah, Devil's Story is a great bad movie. That's another great one. Sledgehammer, yeah. Like I love bad movies, obviously, but yeah, I've yeah. I things is one of those things where you go like, yeah, this is fucking terrible, but that really is the charm of it. Like, and it's like again, like going back to Bloody Muscle, Bodybuilder in Hell. Oh, thanks, Jack. Have a good night, man. Uh, Going back to that one, it's like, it's just guys trying to make a movie, and in the case of Things, they really had no skill or business making a movie, but they still made it, and that's like, I don't know, that's cool to me. But Uh, yeah, there are some, but I don't even know what the worst movie I've ever seen is, but there are worse than things. I've seen worse than things. Thanks, Melissa. Happy holidays to you. The Summer of Massacre. I've not seen that one. Yeah, the Mr. Magic Show reference. I'm so happy when somebody gets those. Like, you don't understand how I'm like sitting at home, like fist pumping. Yeah, someone got the Mr. Magic reference. I am an easily amused man. Yeah. So you know what I think, like, again, going back to MST3K, that's a good, like, Red Zone Cuba, I think is unwatchable without the riffing. Like, and I've tried, like, I watched Manos. I've watched Manos without the riffs, and Manos is a bad movie, but it's, it's sort of endearing, again, charming in its ineptitude. But like when they did Red Zone Cuba, I was like, this movie's terrible. Like, this movie is a struggle even with them making jokes. I'm like, oh, I have to see this without the jokes to see how bad it really is. And it was bad. So, yeah. Hi, Mike. You're not allowed to show certain things in your videos, and yet they are available on YouTube elsewhere. The double standards on here is frustrating. Keep up the great work. Yes, Woody. Or Wordy. I'm sorry. Wordy. I can't see it. Man, I need new glasses. I can't read. Yeah. We get that all the time. The funny shit is, like I said, we cannot say the H word in Hollywood Chainsaw Escorts, right? That video was flagged for content, limited ads, which means no ads. And we appealed to humans and they still rejected it. And we took the H words out and it passed with no problems. And yet, so you go, well, obviously the problem is the H word, right? And yet if you look up that movie on YouTube, the second search result is rent Hollywood Chainsaw Escorts from YouTube for $3.99. So they will rent you the movie for $3.99 and make money off of it. But I cannot say the word in the video, in the title. So this is it. Yeah, this is just this is the thing that drives me nuts. And again, like this week, Jay puts up the video, it gets claimed, but just claimed for revenue. I put it up, it gets blocked. It's the exact same fucking video, like literally the same video, like nothing changed. Not one frame is different. So why is one claimed and one blocked? I don't know. So and that's the infuriating thing about YouTube, is that, there's never any consistency. And like when they reject something like Hollywood Chainsaw Escorts, and you appeal to a human and they reject it, they just reject it. They don't tell you what they're rejecting it for. They don't say, well, you said the H word and you can't say the H word, or, we're rejecting it because of this joke or because of this. They just reject it and you have no idea why. So then you have to guess at what it is. So it's a frustrating experience. So I can't, it's so dumb because, like, I've said the H word in other videos, but it's the same thing as when I had to replace butt plug with Michigan strawberry in the American Rickshaw video. Like, why is saying those two words, which I'm probably going to get demonetized over again, why is that a big deal? Like, the object on the screen was obviously not that thing. So yeah. I just I don't get it. But that's just the game. That's just what we deal with every week. And to be, Michigan strawberry. Yes. People are like, what the hell is a Michigan strawberry? I'm like, look it up.
So yeah, it just sucked. Event Horizon is interesting because yeah, but part of that is he cut a lot of that footage himself, which again, I don't really understand why he did that, but uh and I still hold out hope that they're going to find that footage someday, that like missing 20 minutes of gore he cut out of it. And I only say that because everybody's like, no, they'll never find it. He says he doesn't know where it is. And, but yeah, they said that same shit about Nightbreed for like 20 years and then somebody found it. So I bet it's out there somewhere. Michigan strawberry. Yeah. Like, it's like the dumb shit I have to do to make this channel work sometimes. It's just fucking mind blowing. Hey, chat. Hey, Mike, if you ever do a review of Transformation starring Rex Smith, it's bad. I could give you some really good. Perfect. I don't even think I've seen that. I'm going to have to look for it. How you doing, chat? Congrats on hitting 1,000+ subs. It's so bad. You're singing my song. Michigan strawberry pie is bad. Oh, thanks, Greg. Have a good night. That's awesome that you made it to 1,000, man. I'm happy you got there. And my small part in helping, very small, but yeah, Michigan straw. Like, I don't know. This platform is just, I don't know. It leaves me speechless regularly because you're like, why are these things? Why am I having to jump through these hoops? Why? And it's always like, why do you have like, I will put something in a video and we can't show it. And then there's 6 other videos out that do show it, or like Lady Terminator. My video is blocked worldwide. There are 150 fucking Lady Terminator videos on this site that aren't blocked. So why is mine blocked? So you go nuts. So I will answer that again. The original football practice is a Mystery Science Theater 3000 gag. That is the most asked question in the history of this show. Yeah. The workarounds for the censorships are often more hilarious because, like, Michigan strawberry is oddly funny because it's so weird. So I don't know. It's you just like, if you do YouTube and you work in this space, you just come to a point where it's like, well, I'm just going to deal with some bullshit like regularly, and you just learn to cope or go nuts. I have not learned to cope, but yeah, football practice was in the movie. It was also in a couple of episodes. I think it was in actually I think it was in Pod People as well, where we also got It Stinks from. Jason Goes to Hell. I am very mixed on Jason Goes to Hell. I love the first few minutes of that movie where they, catch him out in the woods and blow the shit out of him. Yeah, it is in Pod People. Yes, you're right, Donald. Right there with It Stinks. That's a classic episode. 2 good gags right from one episode. Yeah, I don't care so much for the idea of Jason ripping off the hidden and transferring around like that, but the opening is good, and I am a big Friday the 13th the series fan, so it was fun to see John D. LeMay cross over from the show to the movies. But yeah, beyond that, not so much my thing. One of my lesser favorite Jason movies. The channel Trash Dash. It's like 600 subs. I have not seen them. I'll have to check it out. Pod People is the best, man. That's a great episode. Yeah, Stephen Williams is great in everything. He's great in the X-Files too. I love that guy. Unfortunately, no Roby. Yeah.
Oh yeah, everybody had a crush on Alyssa Milano, but I had more of one on her as a kid. Yeah, like I don't hate Jason Goes to Hell. I just it's so weird. Like tonally, it's so different. But yeah, Friday the 13th, the series was a mainstay of my teens too. Duke deserves a spinoff. Yeah, he kind of does. I'd watch that. Maybe they'll bring him into the show. Chat, yes, we do have progress actually. The rewrites are happening. I'm working on it as we speak. That novel should be out. I'm really hoping we're going to get it out before summer. That's my hope. Delicious subs at Jersey Mike's. I had Jersey Mike's the other night. Freddy's Dead is kind of, yeah, it is cheesy fun. Again, not a favorite, not something I go back and revisit very often, but I often think like the vitriol it inspires is at least a little bit misguided. So, yeah, I hope everyone will buy it. It's, dude, it's a good book. Like we're going back through it as I'm rewriting it. And it's like legitimately funny. And, like it definitely like the, the agent was right. She's like, some of these things, like we need to like fix a little bit of stuff in it. And I should have done it 4 years ago, but I didn't. So yeah, I hope that we will get it out by like summer, hopefully. But we're very early in the rewrites. So, but I don't think like as we went through it, I don't think it's going to need a bunch of big rewrites. So you cannot get the book yet. It's because it's not done. So, the book is called Sympathy for the Devil. It's a murder mystery, but the catch is it's set in hell. So yeah, it's it's got a sick flick sense of humor, even though I wrote it before sick flicks existed. But yeah, so I think it's pretty good. It's the first book in a series. So uh it's so basically uh there's a murder in hell, and everyone in hell is basically a killer or a monster of some sort. So how do you solve a murder in a place where everyone is a suspect? And we follow a disgraced cop as he works to solve the case, and he has a cohort who is a demon whose head has come off, and he carries it around on a stick. And yeah, it's a funny book. So it's a good time. But yeah, but hopefully this coming year, we're like I have literally worked on it this week. I had meetings to go over what needed to change, and we're going to get it rolling. Yeah, you guys will know. I will absolutely let you know when we're putting it out, and you'll be able to pick it up, and if we'll figure out a way to do signed copies or whatever. So, but yeah, I hope people will like it. Friday the 13th, the series did have a good creepy scarecrow episode. That's one of my favorites actually. Yeah, if you're in a Lone Wolf and Cub, that Criterion box set is fantastic. Like I love uh Lone Wolf and Cub, and that box set. I got it, and now I got the Zatoichi one for my birthday. So those are great movies. What time is it, guys? Oh my god, I've been here for 3.5 hours. Holy shit. Favorite Sybil Danning movie. Oh my god. There's so many. Night of the Scarecrow, very good. So, like, fun fact, I saw Night of the Scarecrow back in the day when it debuted, and I was like 8 or 9, and dude, that scared the shit out of me, that movie. So scared the shit out of me. All right, guys, I'm getting tired. I'm going to wrap it up here and thank you all for coming as always. This year has been a great year for the show. You guys showing up every week means the world to me. I'm super appreciative of all the comments, the views, the likes, for you guys showing up here at the live streams, the super chats, the Patreon support. Like, when you start these things, you never know how they're going to go. Like, I started this and I thought, oh, this will go pretty well because I've been on TV and I'm a writer and I'm pretty well known in the horror film community. And then you get here and you realize YouTube is a very big pond and you're a very small fish and you have to just grind it out and find your people. And you guys are my people. And I'm so grateful that you have come and supported me and watch what I do and show up and support the channel. And I can't thank you enough for that. And I hope you guys have a great holiday. I will see you Wednesday for Christmas Eve for Don't Open Till Christmas. And we've got lots of good things coming in 2023. I hope to do more of these live streams to hang out with you guys if you guys want to do them. Or if you get tired of hearing me answer the same 10 questions and rant about YouTube, I'm happy to do that as well. So I hope you all have a great night and a happy holiday. Be safe. Take care of each other, and I hope Santa brings you good stuff. All right. I will see you all soon.